So yeah,
Again, same
audience.
entry. Like, come on, we got different. We got to get different material every day.
You were
every week.
late.
Come on.
Okay,
Yeah,
you were 5 minutes late.
That
I
doesn't
want your
change. That
notes.
doesn't change. We need a different thing to say when the page flips.
Yeah, you want me to say something? You want me to say something different, man? You know, I
Yeah.
had like a little midlife crisis dilemma at my comic book shop this week, right? Because
Mhm.
I was thinking about buying that Harley Quinn issue that everybody was in a commotion about. You know, the one that's supposed to smell like farts.
Mhm.
Yeah, actual thing. But then I said to myself, am I really at the point in my life where I'm paying to sniff a woman's farts? No,
Did you
no,
really
no,
buy
no.
that book?
Oh hell no! Like I when I saw that $7 price tag, I'm like, no, 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 not worth it. No, 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 no,
I
no,
mean, it was
no.
hand bagged. I saw someone
Yeah,
talk about. I saw like a comic book creator talk about the actual book, and
yeah,
they said that
and,
it didn't. People were saying it was.
yeah.
And the thing, all this
I
because one bad joke in Harley Quinn and Nightwing, and then they think that people like Harley Quinn party.
it was just like one of those novelty comics. Like I guess they thought it would sound good on paper, you know. But whatever.
They knew it. They knew it. Didn't they? Just like,
Yeah,
oh, this is gonna be a gag book. April coming up, and they didn't
yeah.
expect people to like dislike it that as much as they did.
Oh
Now, how
man.
can you be a part of the internet culture and not think people are going to make a big deal about something? Come on now.
It's
Mm-hmm.
more that
Internet.
Harley Quinn's already pretty overused like Joker is now, so she has way more
Mm-hmm.
eyes on her than normal. And
Mm-hmm.
then in the height of people not liking her or liking her, like the whole argument, you pull this stunt.
Yep. I mean, you have to have your own choice as to whose farts you want to smell. You know, I mean, I would think that's a personal decision on yourself, and I guess Harley Quinn just isn't my choice. You know, so
Yeah, at least Poison Ivy's will smell good.
yeah, yeah. She eats veggies after all, audience, which I don't know how that works for her. You know, plant dominant sort of thing. Isn't that considered cannibalism to you at that point?
It should be, but do they
Yeah.
want to talk about that? No,
Of course. She
they
just
just it's to make her photosynthesize like every other plant.
Sure.
yeah, pretty much. But all right then. I guess with that, you want to get started?
Sure.
Oh, gotcha. Welcome to Comic Fanatic Not Live, the news and reviews of the week, audience. You're here with me,
We're not
Crypto
live.
Seeker. Yeah, we're live, but I have to do my intro, man. Our intros.
Let
You
him do
know?
the fucking
Yeah,
intro.
whatever.
He's saying we're not
Hey,
live. We're live, but we're not live.
Can we
You get scared like that.
already late?
Okay, okay. So I'm not going through that intro again. So all right, move on to the next.
And it is I, Jake Talna, and I have the question: why do we bring a toll of light if he can't light the darkness?
Ooh.
Because you don't have a keyblade, idiot. Anyway, it's my turn, and as you can see, if my name on this thing, that's exactly how I feel. I experienced the worst thing possible on TV today, and I
Oh
believe they
damn.
know
Awesome.
Okay.
hmm
Well, I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and I guess I'm the biggest fool of the day.
No, it
Still,
was me.
See.
What's up? Oh, huh.
at least you
Well,
you have a job.
Do I?
and together, yes, and together we form the Fanatics, and we talk about the news and reviews of the week. And on our special Tuesday nights, we talk to you about the comic reviews. Okay, now we got some comics, we got some novels, we got it all over here. We're returning to Monster High with a new Scaremester, or at least issue 7 of it. Avengers Academy is also back on the board. Fantastic Four is here. Deadpool and Spiderman are back, but not the ones, not your grandpa's Deadpool and Wolverine. We're talking about Spider-Man. We're talking
Not
about
Cryptid's
Miles Morales.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
We're talking about Miles Morales and Deadpool's daughter. Is that right, Cryptid? Am I wrong? Am I wrong in saying
Yeah, his
that?
Yeah.
underage daughter. They keep drawing
His
as
underage
an
daughter.
18-plus-year-old.
I
That's true.
know.
That's true.
I know.
The Thunderbolts will also return just in time for their movie coming out. And you know, we got a little bit more. Oh, we're also returning to. Well, we won't be on Boy and Nui for a little bit, but we are in the Bionicle universe, so we'll be doing that as well. But yeah, outside of that, we also have socials, and what are they?
Well, at least that's something I have control of the socials. So don't let Jake take that away from me. First of all, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like we're on our track to getting 100 subscribbles. So if you can get us to 100 subscribbles, that'll be really nice. Ooh. Anyways, you can also follow us on Twitter at Comic Phanatic 69. I heard that's a pretty interesting place to get updates and stuff. Ooh. Yeah, but if you don't want to follow the whole squad and you just want to follow little old me because you like my nasally ass, crusty ass voice, you can follow me on my Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U, because I do try to post things on there sometimes, and I did post some new art, so stay tuned. You can also follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch at witch_of_Jotunheim. You can also follow me on Blue Sky and Tumblr at Northstar Aria. That I also posted my new piece of fan art on there too. Wink wonk. You can also follow me on RedNote/Xiaohongshu at Witch of Jotun with a U. If you want to find Austin, he is a brick wall in The Mummy. Don't worry about it. He doesn't get destroyed, but he did get paid very well, as I've been told. And you can find Cryptid in the same spot as always, unless something changes. And hey, Jake, where are you at?
Right now I'm at the door of darkness.
Okay,
Here's a trick question. We do not care. Keep going with you.
Don't ask.
Cool. Hey, Cryptid, are you ready to go to Korea?
Oh yeah. Hey, if you have tickets to Lona Snow's concert, man, I'll go anytime you want, man.
Oh hell yeah.
But all right then. So we got the intros out of the way. You guys want to get started?
Yes. Let's go to Korea.
Well, first off, we're going to Hell's Kitchen. So
no, I want to go to Korea. Fuck you.
Austin, go ahead.
Jake.
Fuck you, Austin.
Say something to Witch first.
Which how you doing?
I want a job.
I want you to say fuck you, Witch. Anyway, I'll have you know that I just saw the worst hour of TV known to man.
God dang.
So Cryptid doesn't care about spoilers about this. I'm coming to this purely as a comic book Daredevil fan right now.
Okay.
Get out. It's over. Get out.
I don't. Me and Cryptid. Once I tell Cryptid what happened, he don't. We could have gotten it and why they fucked up.
Okay.
All right. So everything what Muse set up so far, they took away his powers. They made him a silent killer, and they made him a Taekwondo master. That's a real thing.
Oh boy.
In this issue, the girl that he kidnapped. I don't know if they're there. We're not gonna lie to you.
Hector's daughter, or Hector's niece, yeah, White Tiger's niece.
She starts talking about, man, this guy couldn't shut up. He just talked all goddamn night. We saw this thing. He didn't say one fucking word.
Ah, what was that?
But apparently, this version of Muse, before he kills someone, he draws a photo of them on a piece of random paper, on a piece of canvas that you can only buy from 2 different places. So it's very simple to find out who this is and what he's done.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like already there. That's like, okay, whatever. Though they already know who he is. His name's Bradley Cooper, apparently in this.
That does not sound like his name from the comics. I know they mentioned his name. Yeah, his name in the comics has like a more artistic pronunciation of it. I just don't remember it right now. So
that's an actor's name. There's an actor called Bradley Cooper.
In here, Jay. So Fist already finds out who he is within like 10 minutes. Daredevil finds out he is in like 10 minutes. And they both find out immediately that, he's going to go kill this therapist lady because he drew a picture of her. It's a therapist that Matt's kind of friends with.
Which we all kind of saw coming in the first episode or two. Yeah.
We all knew that coming.
Yeah, Matt's therapist girlfriend was doing a book signing, and they specifically gave 5 minutes of screen time to this one guy who wanted to get his book signed, and he was having a conversation with her. So you could tell that was Muse.
It was Muse.
Yep.
They went into this very non-creative. Well, your book, you understand me. Look at this book, like the most standard serial killer thing you can do. The parasocial relationship. Like I read this book. You know who I am. I'm only this
Mhm.
because of you. That type of shit. Krypton.
Yeah.
Krypton. I want you to know he gets one more fight scene, then he gets murdered.
Wait, he's dead?
Yeah.
What?
So they set all that up with the therapist. He starts beating her up a little bit. Daredevil gets there, they fight, and the therapist puts 4 bullets in his chest, and he's dead. Fisk takes credit for it with his task force. He is dead.
Jesus
So
Christ.
whatever Morbius was originally supposed to be the main villain of the show, for the reshoots, they changed him to a transitional killer, which could have been anybody. They really should have. They really wasted all the music in this episode.
Yeah, audience. That's kind of one thing. I know we're like what 7 or 8 episodes in. I don't know if it's because we've watched so many modern day MCU projects where we could tell where the reshoots happened. But as far as the season Daredevil goes, I'm starting to notice what scenes like from the original 7 episodes they originally were trying to make, and what they were trying to recycle from those onto here, as well as trying to do their own stuff. So yeah, you can just tell they're just battling to put storylines in and having to do away with them. Yeah, very weird scenario. Muse,
It
the
felt
fact,
like the main reason he's dead is because
yeah,
we know they want to. It's because Bullseye had to come back.
yeah. Oh
He's not in this
wow.
episode. He's not in this episode. But it's very clearly going into next season. Bullseye and all that stuff going to be a big part of the season because he
Hmm.
killed Fogg and all that. So you can't he won't be able to just stay in prison.
Right,
So I
of
feel like they had to
course.
take Muse out early to keep the number of threats down.
Now, that is just so sad, audience, because like Muse, like he was quality over quantity when he was in the comics, man. Like it was such a disservice that they didn't give him his powers because it was like one of those unique powers where you never actually saw an adaptation of this in any other media. The whole sensory vortex thing. Which proposed a really challenging thing for Daredevil because he Muse is literally the only person he has to fight literally blind because he can't see him. But of course, they couldn't give him his inhuman powers in this show for obvious reasons. So what's left? Oh yeah, he just knows some taekwondo. Really, really. Well, that was a waste of potential there. Oh no, you guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
okay, I think Austin just left. Oh, hold a sec.
I'm here.
Austin.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
switched phone.
So okay,
So
gotcha. So it was wasted
man,
potential.
they wasted everything because they set up so much of his stuff, and then
Hmm.
they neutered him by taking away all the things that made him special,
Yeah.
and they just made him a stepping stone for this task force that we know is going to get wiped out soon.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like this is in the combos where he had like the Thunderbolts and stuff. These are random cops. They're not going to get past the Punisher.
Oh fuck no, man.
The only one probably going to
Um,
survive is Cole North because we know he has a story.
yeah.
But it was
Honestly,
so painful. So like
it's so
apparently in this
painful.
one, his backstory is that I was always kind of weird, and my mom and dad made me take Taekwondo even though I didn't want to, and then they moved to teacher child house so he can help train me, and then I killed him. But when I read your book, I was like, she understands me, and I started murdering people and painting on the walls, and now the whole city sees who I am. That's his backstory.
Wow.
You get it in
Wow.
5 minutes.
Any particular reason why he decides to make artwork with his victim's blood?
They don't explain it. They just he's evil. He must be insane.
Yeah. Yeah, audience, because that's also a thing in this series where, like, he's been painting art pieces all around New York, right? Art pieces that are specifically meant to defame Kingpin, and all the Kingpin haters are like, "Yay, this guy's cool. This guy's speaking the truth." And then you come to find out that the reason they can't erase those paintings is because they're made of human blood.
Yeah. They brought it up in
Whoa.
an early episode, but he doesn't actually explain why he does it. He's like, "Well, I'm a killer."
Yeah. Why are
Like
you against
he
Kingpin?
doesn't seem as attached to art as the comic book version was. It's just more like, "Well, this is my true self. I like to paint, and that's it. Like that's as far as it goes."
Yeah. In the comics audience, he's a lot more creative with his artwork. Like he literally made the corpse of a hand of a hand ninja, right? Cut off cut off one side of their limbs, and nailed their body to the wall to make them the shape of a hand, with
And
the
they're like,
head being like the thumb and everything.
there's
Yeah.
like, I can't believe we brought his ghost back for the dead to accomplish for this bullshit, bro.
Sad,
Like,
man. Sad.
so yeah, we go for him to talk to the therapist for 5 minutes. He tries to kill her. Daredevil shows up. He loses that fight clearly. Well,
Yeah.
he don't got his powers. And then the therapist who had a because for some reason he brought a gun to the fight. Yeah,
Okay.
he never he never really does. But the therapist got the gun and she shot him, and 4 times he died. And that's it. Now the end of the news. All the episodes they set him
Wow.
up for, all the all the mystery, all the character changes
He
leading
could
up to this, and then suddenly acting like he's a whole different person. None of that
he,
matters.
he could have been the main villain of a season alone, man. That's just very tragic to hear that that's what ended up happening to him. You
This
know?
actually makes me worried. The Views is probably the best Daredevil new villain he has. But now
Yeah.
I'm actually scared about the other villains if they're also going to suffer, just so we can get the Kingpin Daredevil stuff still going.
Well, I mean,
Because we
what?
know we know that the actor for Daredevil talked about
Yeah.
them mentioning or wanting to do one day like Mr. Fear, with basically his scarecrow and other stuff
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
I even heard something about the 10 fingers. And I was like,
Yeah, the
I
Ten
would,
Fingers games.
I was say after this, I would not trust you any small time villain as long as Kingpin's alive.
Just bring Blind Spot at least, man. Come on, that dude needs some more love and some more spotlight, you know? So
Bro, like, granted, I was legit mad. I had to text y'all. I sat down for a minute. I looked at the wall. I was like, bro,
you were
what did
like
I just see?
dude, you were like Wilson Fisk looking at that white canvas of his.
Yeah,
Like,
handshaking.
yeah,
When I was a boy
yeah.
type shit. When I was a boy, Muse was alive in the comics. Like that type shit. I was losing my mind. Like
Yeah.
that took all the steam I had for the rest of the show because
Wow.
now we know it's pretty predictable what's going to happen now with Muse not here. We already seen they already
I mean,
spoiled a scene of the Punisher returning and what he's going to do. We know Bull's not going to get out of jail at some point, and
yeah, I
we
mean,
just know Matt and him are going to fight. That's it.
yeah, I mean, like the final battle of this series. I mean, what's it just going to be? It's going to be Punisher and Daredevil beating up some guys with guns. That's it. There's no real final boss figure. It seems like, you know. So,
Yeah. A Kingpin can't lose. He just has to be married stuff. He can't be taken out directly.
Yep.
But there's no other threat here. Everything's gonna be straightforward. To be fair, the fight might be good, but like all the cells that flew out the wing for me.
Yeah, understandable, dude. Understandable. I know both me and you were really hyped for Muse's appearance here because I remember, like, when this series got announced, right? We all thought, okay, are they going to keep like the rated R rating for like the mature graphics that they had for the Netflix series? But then when you hear that Muse was going to be here, we're all like, okay, yes, it definitely has to keep that mature rating on it because no way you could do Muse without it being gory, you know?
Yeah, I think my biggest problem with them throwing away Muse is that because of how the MCU is and how they want to keep Daredevil grounded, that means we're never going to get any of his actual crazy villains who have like demonic powers and all the other stuff. So Muse is like the perfect little mix between that.
Yeah.
Everyone else they will like to use is going to be a regular guy with some type of tech or something.
Yep.
You'll never get like that arc of him going to hell, getting powered by God, all the other crazy stuff. That just doesn't fit what Daredevil is.
I know, right?
So you just limit yourself to like 4 other Daredevil stories.
Well, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. So,
Nah, bro, I was heated. Let's move on.
You got it out of your system, man? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it, audience. We're definitely gonna make it a full episode of this when the season's over. So, all right. let's move on to the next one.
Can we go to Korea?
First we have to stick to the pool side of things, which
I
we're
thought
still in New York.
Doom's Division was first.
No, it's
No.
Deadpool and Spiderman, then it's Doom's Division.
Yeah,
What?
Pools of Blood, the finale.
I guess I didn't.
I'm not.
Sorry, I didn't put
Gotcha.
that in the tags. I didn't actually see that.
Gotcha. No, it's okay. I'm
Kind
just
of
going
out of it
briefly.
right now.
Gotcha. But yeah, I'm just going to briefly go over like these past two issues, right? So yeah, it's Deadpool and Miles' big team up. You know, Deadpool was hired to assassinate Spider-Man, you know, specifically Miles Morales, only to find out that the person who hired him was Agent Gao. You guys might be more familiar with her from the Miles Morales book, right? So yeah, so evidently she's kind of pissed that her division in Thunderbolts, you know, in New York was terminated. So now she's like making a deal with some shady people to get like godlike weaponry, you know. So yeah, she's going to want to patrol the streets or whatever. And first things first, she wants to get rid of Spider-Man because she believes heroes are part of the problems of the street as well. So. Yeah, I want you to keep this in mind, audience. Right now, Miles can only be challenged by God level entities right now. No. Yeah, I'm not even joking by that. Deadpool.
Because, you know, he is the worst Spider-Man of all time, and he needs every crutch in the book just to do a fraction of what Peter Parker can do. Just so we're all aware. So.
I know, right? I know, right? He needs vibranium coated webbing, which I still don't know how the fuck that works.
But if you bring it up, you're just looking too into it. Peter upgraded his stuff too. It's no different than that.
By the way, Jake, I also want to bring this up, right? His vibranium suit is nanites, by the way, kind of like what you see in the MCU Tom Holland version. So he can actually. Yeah,
but he can still separate.
He can separate it into other technology. Like he did it to Ellie's phone. He put some of his nanites on Ellie's phone to basically give it an upgrade. Like wow. Like I mean, there comes a point where they need the teleportation feature in Ellie's phone to hop to another spot, right? And Ellie's like, well, it's broken. And Miles is like, well, you know, fixing gizmos like that is more of the other Spider-Man's thing. But you know what? Maybe actually put some of my vibranium nanites in it and it'll fix it. Oh, yeah, it does. There you go. You know?
Dang, man. I don't think I've seen Peter fix something like 10 years.
I know, right?
You know, you fix a relationship.
Gotcha. Let me just bring up the picture of what she looks like now. Right here. Warcry. I think that's her superhero mantle name.
She looks like an Amazon, kind of, but like
they love
hung out with Ares long enough.
They love doing that for some reason. They love doing that.
Yeah, which is funny you should mention Ares because it turns out Ares was the one pulling the strings on this Agent Gao character. But
love being right without realizing I'm being right.
Gotcha. Okay, but overall, they were able to defeat her, and this is good for Deadpool because he's looking at her sword and saying, "You know what? Actually, we can actually use that sword to kill that Death Grip fella who killed me earlier." So yeah, we got that sword now. All goes well. Everybody from both sides give each other a handshake. You remember that guy? What's his name? Miles's clone.
Yeah, it just Miles backwards.
Shift. Yeah, he basically looks like Miles, but you know, buff. I'm talking about Venom buff, audience. There comes a point in here where I don't know the full backstory behind Shift, but it kind of seems like he has Venom-like attributes, where you know he could make multiple arms of himself, and
he did.
Yeah. Morph. Yes. Okay, so partly right then.
That's basically it. Man.
Yeah. There does come this one kind of like I don't know if you guys want to consider this cute or not, but like you know Ellie's like taking a selfie with Shift, and Ellie's like, "Hey, Shift, if you want, you know I have a sister, right? Who's a Carnage." Like, okay. hey,
That's creepy as fuck. You told him to fuck a dog.
I know, right? Audience, at some point in our lifetime, we will see a member of the Pool family tied a knot with someone from the Spider family. Just you wait, So, uh, I thought it was going. I know it's never going to be Peter and Wade. I thought it might have been maybe Miles and Ellie, but hey, it
It
might.
could be. Well, don't forget,
I'll,
we also have Itsy Bitsy.
Oh yeah, the love child between Wade and Peter. But hey, we might actually get an official hookup with Shift and Princess. Yay! Our
Yes,
princess is all
I'm
going
so
on
glad
right witch.
this mistreated clone is getting married to a dog that they treat like a dog. By the way,
I know. And I also like the little gimmick here. Like the second Princess sees Miles, right? The princess is like, "There's something about this guy that wants me to rip him to shreds." I'm like, God dang it! The dog just subconsciously hates spider people. Apparently, audience. So yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's Miles specifically. They did this dumb thing where Carnage now have to beef with Miles instead of Peter.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's like
Let's
Carnage
see.
reigns or something.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, there was also a brief fight between Miles and Princess, but that ended with you know Miles winning because of Venom Blast. No, oh, wait, hold on a sec. Oh wait, hold on a sec. Let me bring Witch in. Witch.
Jake,
That.
stop texting Tony.
If I wasn't
Gotcha.
texting Tony, you wouldn't be in this call right now.
It was freaking encrypted.
Gotcha. But for all you Shift fans out there, there does come a point in here where Shift is like, yeah, I kind of want my own name, this and that. So Miles brought up a picture of his grandfather, of their grandfather. So now they're officially going to name him Jaime in honor of him. So yeah, guys.
So how long till he
I
dies?
think it's
You know what's
funny
gonna happen.
that Ellie was like, "Oh yeah, I have a Carnage sister, and it's like a hyena dog."
No,
And when was the last
instead,
time we saw Itsy Bitsy? I don't remember the last time we saw her.
which
Yeah,
instead she said, "I have a sister. You can date her if you want." Talking about the dog.
I know. I think that's ironic.
and Shift is also a mutant bastard hybrid, Venom hybrid. So
Even
Yeah, he can't do
I've
better.
seen 2D cockroach hybrids. Nothing phases me anymore.
Yeah, he can't do better than a dog. Don't forget your first lesson you learned today.
Gotcha, audience. So anyway, the issue ends with Deadpool and Ellie returning back with the sword they got from Agent Gal, and you cut back to Ares, who's now like, I'm going to have to deal with Miles myself, and you also see Thor having a conversation with. Dude, I forgot that guy's name. He's like the spider god in Wakanda that's tagging along with Miles now.
Nothing. You don't need nothing.
Yeah, the storyteller. I'll just call him the storyteller, right?
Anansi?
We'll call
Yeah.
that here.
That's the only one I'm thinking of.
That's probably it, right? Yeah, apparently Thor knows who Anansi is, and he actually kind of hates him because he already has.
Anansi's a god too. Like the fuck?
Not just
Yeah,
that, but
big guys don't mean you can all know each other.
apparently here they do, because apparently Thor and Anansi have history of each other. I'm like, wow. That's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
history that never brought up after any time when Thor met Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
You know, who is empowered by a Nazi apparently.
Yep.
Miles
There
Morales.
you go.
What?
Oh, and then, by the way, audience, apparently
Every Spider person is empowered by him.
Gotcha. Oh, and by the way, audience, by the end of this issue, we see that Hercules is going to be coming after Miles. So again,
What did Miles do to Hercules?
I know.
He fucks with his family. What does this regular human spider person have a say what the gods do?
It's because Miles already shown he's capable of defeating a god with that Agent Gao chick.
So did Peter. Peter beat Sidorak. Oh, you'll see people come crying about it.
Yeah, but then all the gods are looking at Peter's life and like,
Because
oh,
he's
this guy
black, bro. I'm telling you.
because Peter is a DEI hire. Okay, we don't listen to true, authentic Spider-Mans. Okay.
There you go. So
Racism.
yeah, that's really the end of this issue, audience. It's just setting up storylines for both Deadpool and Miles going forward. Uh, yeah, I was kind of hoping this whole event would have explored the relationship between Miles and Ellie, but hey, I'm just desperate to see someone from the Pool family and the Spider family hook up. So if
You
I
want to
have
see this underage girl hook up with his college student?
huh? Well, in the future, Austin.
Yeah, but
you know,
it's still weird if you do
Yeah,
it to
if I met you
you're
at
an
14,
adult
I'm in
and
college,
then
I'm not dating you, bro.
later.
This is over.
okay, okay.
There's
Well,
like
okay, we're not.
there's legality and then there's morality. Just think
Hey,
of the
I'm.
morals of this
Hey,
all.
hey, tell that to Ellie who had a crush on Miles. All right,
That's
explain that
That's
to her.
different.
fine.
That's
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
It's
No,
all
I
for
just kind
games
of want.
to tell Miles cheated on her like he did most of his other girlfriends.
Nah, I mean, I just kind of wanted to see that interaction
I
between
don't want Miles
Deadpool
Morales
talking to
to be a
Miles.
groomer, okay? Like I don't need him to be a groomer.
No,
He
I
let
just
Gwen
wanted that.
groom him. He
Yeah, I
fastened it
just
on.
want. Yeah, I just wanted that scene of Deadpool looking at Miles and like telling him, she's 14, right? You're still a vampire, right, Miles? Here, have some garlic bread.
Yeah,
Well, we never got
despite how they keep drawing her, don't forget she's 14, weirdo.
Yeah,
yeah.
she is a child,
Okay,
canonically.
okay. Gotcha. But anyway,
Don't make this weird, incels. Don't make this weird.
gotcha.
It's already weird.
But
Yeah.
anyway, that's really it for Pools of Blood, audience. So, all right. I guess with that, we can move on
How
to
many
the
more
next.
issues? Is this the end?
This is the end
Like
of
the
the
story over?
The story's over, yeah.
The one shot.
Yeah, it's a 4
It feel
issue
like
mini. So.
I feel like it's a waste of fucking time.
I know.
I think this could have
All
been
right.
done in a one shot, and I think we would have been okay with it.
Yeah, they used to do those oversized one shots for Deadpool. I can agree with that. So, all right then. I guess we can move
Sometimes
on.
things need to be one shots, and that's okay. What the hell?
Gotcha. But all right, which we're heading to Korea now. So
Fucking
go for it.
finally. Okay, we're both gonna do work on this because you probably read this a bit more thoroughly than I did. But we both have the variant cover of Doom's Division #1 with White Fox on it. Fun fact and spoiler alert, she's not in this book.
I know it's very ironic, audience. Like this was completely not planned for us to have the same exact variant, but here we are.
I mean, it's a cute cover. Of course I was gonna
Mhm.
buy it. Why would I buy it over the
Yeah.
main cover?
Yep. So, all
You
right.
should know me by
Explain.
now.
Yep.
Anyways, we start off in Seoul. Duh. Why wouldn't we start off in Seoul? It's either Seoul or Busan or Jeju. I don't know. I didn't get to go to Jeju. I'm just gonna be 100% real with you. Anyway, so we see these two people. They want to take a picture in front of a statue. It's a pretty nice looking golden statue. But guess what? Some supernatural shenanigans happen, and it gets covered in flames, and it becomes like a legendary fire dog. I think I want to try to see if I can pronounce it correct. It's called like Bulge. I think that's how you pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know Korean. My mom barely knows Korean.
Yeah, just because like we saw that one issue of Amadeus show getting set on fire doesn't mean everybody wants to get set on fire in Korea, So
For real. But so basically the two people start running away. But the girl, she wants to take a picture of it. Time and place. Sheepish. I thought you already had your camera out. Why do you need to fucking take more pictures? You already had your camera out. But anyways, it's all good. She's recording it, and guess who pulls up, besties? Miss Luna Snow herself. Ayo.
Time to put on a show, audience.
But it's not just Luna. You can go to the first picture.
Gotcha.
Better be in the correct order. Yeah, it's the squad. It's the Tiger Division.
The writer and artist knew what they were doing when they gave Luna Snow her own page intro, before they introduced the whole team as one.
I mean, I think the writer and the artist are both Korean, so I think that works out in our favor. Or at least they're both Asian because of their names. But besides, not important. So they pull up. Okay, it's the whole squad's here. They gotta do their thing. They all like the whole squad just like meets up for some reason, starts chit chatting. It's like, hey, just because you covered the big giant fire dog statue thing in ice doesn't mean it's gonna last, because fire melts ice and turns that shit into water.
Okay.
But don't worry, be kind of happy.
I would. Yeah. If I was Lunasoul, I'll be telling them, yeah, remind me again who's funding this team. Yeah,
Me.
yeah, you know.
It was my fucking music career.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so yeah, they're doing their best to protect the civilians in the plaza, and also like try to stop the giant fire, the supernatural fire statue thingy.
Yeah,
don't worry.
Statue. Go for
and when
it.
they thought that it was like it was down on the ground, it wakes back up, even more angry, But don't worry, don't worry. You want to know why? Don't worry, because the general pulls up, and is holding them down. I'm trying to remember all their names. I'm sorry, it's been a while. And then sorry, there's a lot of people in this book. So Lady Bright like blasts the statue, and then the general is able to put him back in his place. Because that's what you do. And the bullet like it goes away. So yay!
Another day saved. Another day saved.
Yeah, they saved the day. It's all great and happy. So Luna goes to talk to that one girl who was recording it while trying to run away at the same time. It's like girly pop priorities. And then she brings up that that her and her, I think, younger sister. Yeah.
Yes.
Are big fans, and then also that her younger sister decked out her Latvarian prosthetic so that she can walk again and everything. And Luna is kind of not really happy about the whole Doctor Doom thing right now. Which valid. I mean, with the ending of this issue, I wouldn't be surprised if a certain situation happened, but that's not important, bestie.
Yeah, let's keep in mind, audience. Under Doom's reign, he wants every country to replace their flag with his flag. I'm like, no.
I already know a couple countries off the top of my head who are not down for that.
Yeah, So.
And you would think Korea would be one of them. But not important. Not important. We'll get back to that later. Anyway, so yeah, we see also a recording crew, like a camera crew and everything. They're here and everything like that. I don't remember if it's a news organization or something else, but it's people with cameras and mics and stuff like that.
I think they're Luna Stone's recording crew, because like what they want to do is like film shots during her saving the day scene so they can use those for future music videos.
Yeah, from the looks of it looks just like that. So it most likely is that. So yeah, Teguki like basically wraps up everything and is like, okay, well that went smoothly. Like I guess we should go back to HQ now, And that's what they do. They go to the Tiger Division headquarters. Yay! Also, they have a very interesting like wall scroll of Doctor Doom looking like a freaking Korean emperor from the Joseon period. Very interesting.
I know that felt very awkward, which like dang.
I was like, we're here. Okay. Good to know. Anyway, so they pull up, they see the director, they see this other guy or whatever. And so they reveal that they released Luna's new song called Evergreen Peace.
Oh, geez.
Probably Doom propaganda or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking know.
I know. Dude, there's literally a Doom logo right next to the title of that song.
It is literally right next to the title. We don't I didn't send that picture, but like if you've read it, yeah, it's just like a little Doom thing.
No.
And yeah, so they basically edited a whole music video out of like the 40 seconds that they were fighting, apparently. I don't fucking know. It's weird.
Yeah, and her producer's trying to tell her, no, this is all right, because remember, it takes money to make music. I'm like, oh, no. I don't think Luna wants to sell her soul for this sort of production,
Like we saw her face several times throughout this issue where she's just not happy about the circumstances that she's in.
She's a hater.
You're a hater.
I am a hater. That's how I go.
Anyways, not important. We gotta move on. So we see Luna in her Harmony's apartment, and so basically her Harmony's like brushing her hair and they're just talking and everything, and she asks what's the matter, and Luna's like, oh, you saw that music video, like what did you think of it? And her Harmony, being a Harmony, she's like, oh, your voice is beautiful than ever and all that other stuff. Keep in mind I also have a Harmony. I'm the oldest grandchild of hers. Trust me, I got the special privileges.
Right.
And anyways, besides the point, I'm not gonna flex that hard, okay? Anyways, so Luna confides, being like, "Oh yeah, it's propaganda. Like I don't want to do anything that would make you ashamed of me, no matter how much money is involved or whatever." And her Harmony is like, "It's a big world and it's always changing. We've been through so much. Like the Japanese occupied Korea under the pretense of moderation. Like the Korean people suffered, which is true. You don't need to know too much about Korean history to know that.
I only get disrespected by Johnny Somali.
Don't get me started.
Which we have a comment here actually from our buddy Kara. What's the purpose of the series other than to make Korean teams look like sellouts?
Well, it's not just Tiger Division; it's a whole bunch of other teams.
Yeah.
Anyways,
if the world come to terms with Doom's reign, and then they're all gonna fight back later.
Yeah. So also, she also brings up that even after the Korean War, which I know it's called something different in Korea, I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, so apologies. But it was like really bad after the Korean War. Like, yeah, recover, yes, took them a long time, and to go through a military dictatorship, like low key backed by the United States government. So that's a whole. Bother me on TikTok or Twitter about it, but not important. So basically, Harmony is like, but the world people are happy and maybe that was good for Korea. And I'm just like, Bestie, no. Harmony, no. They even talked about earlier that Dr. Doom, like Latveria, kind of Amish community. I don't think everyone wants to be in an Amish community, okay? Not for everyone.
Yeah. You don't want to be stuck doing one thing for the rest of your life, audience.
Okay. Okay. So, Tiger Division are around and everything, and 9 days and no emergencies. That's a record. And all this other stuff. But they also bring up that Dr. Doom has these little robot things that are constantly on surveillance, so they couldn't even do anything even if they wanted to.
Yep.
So that's not fun. Hold on. Oh, okay. I was like reading about a certain like a civil exam. Sorry, I was like trying to figure out what they said. But yeah. Yeah, they don't really like what Dr. Doom is doing here. So yeah, it's not great. But one of them, I can't. What the fuck is his name? Mr. Enigma. He seems a bit more down, I guess you could say. Yeah. But regardless, you see this
it's one of those weird situations about that.
Huh?
I was saying it's one of those weird situations where like Doom's clearly doing something bad, but it is bringing peace. So do you allow this, or do you break the peace? Yeah. So do you break this supposed peace and stand by, even though you know it's bad, or do you upheave everything? Like it's one of those weird situations.
It's weird, but I do want to bring this up because this is important. So we see this one kid with his Harmony, right? And he's playing Luna Snow music. And she tells him to turn it off. And the Harmony is like, it's a sad day when I look at the Sunfire more than my people's superheroes. And everything. I'm like, ooh, interesting. Keep in mind, she's been around. She would know better, So it's very interesting that she has to look up to a Japanese superhero as a Korean woman. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I'm not going to get to the history of Korea, okay? That's the thing for another day.
Shout out the sad part. He get a lot of fucking emotion recently for some reason.
Yeah, but I'll get into that. We'll get into that, right, Cryptid? We'll get into that?
Yeah, we will.
Anyways, so I'm not going to get into it. So Lady Bright. I don't remember everyone's civilian name, so just give me peace, okay? She's like, oh, are the rumors true? Is Sunfire really leading a resistance against Doctor Doom? There you go, Austin. And so we also see like bits and pieces of what Sunfire is doing. He literally like him and his crew, you know, basically they melted a whole bunch of these like little surveillance chibi robots and everything like that. But yeah, you know, it's all good and dandy, I guess you could say. Well, guess what? They gotta go. You know, they have to go back to HQ. No suspicious activity or anything like that. So they go back to the HQ. They gotta fight some little robots. It's great. But guess what? They have the Sunfire logo on it, if anyone was curious. So they were infiltrating the HQ of the Tiger Division. Even though most of them don't even want to be in this situation, but whatever. It's not up to me. Anyways, so we see a large whoosh of water pull up. And none of them were doing it, so they were all confused. Can you switch to the next picture, please?
Yep.
Guess who shows up? Finally, yay. I literally like posted a tweet being like, I haven't seen Karma in a while. I wonder where she's at. And then she was here.
We
So,
see a lot of our faves here.
Yeah, so basically we have new members to Tiger Division. So we have Wave, we have Arrow, I think that's how you pronounce it, and then Karma.
Yeah. Who is Karma?
Huh?
Who is Karma?
You don't know who Karma is?
I clearly asked who is Karma.
She's a mutant. She's the main leader of the New Mutants.
Well, there you go. You know I'm not reading that book.
Okay.
She's cool. Trust me. She's really cool.
Gotcha. So,
anyways, moving on. So basically, yeah. So basically, the director is starting a Pan-Asian peacekeeping alliance. Good to know that they have people from Southeast Asia. So slay, like 2 people. So anyway, so Luna is like, oh, I had like no idea that you're having this alliance, and the fucking director is like, oh yeah, credit where credit is due, you know, like, but yeah. So now they're Doom's division, which is fun, I guess. And the team's first mission will, you know, test them in every way. And Luna's really excited about this because she's like, finally, I get to do superhero stuff. And the director is like, no, your priority will be working on the album. Which is like, what the fuck, man? She's also a superhero, man. She got other things to do.
Free people with music, man.
Like, I know there's like a book that's probably coming out with Dazzler in it, but like, I think Luna's also in. I don't remember, but like, come on, that kind of, yeah. But I'm just like, I kind of feel bad. You know, I kind of feel bad. Anyways, so basically the director's like, okay, for the rest of you, can you switch to the last picture?
Yes.
So basically they got to stop Sunfire.
Dang.
So that's where the issue ends. Yeah, I liked it. It was very interesting to see. Finally, someone low-key bringing up the horrible things that happened in Korea pre and post Korean War. So Karma is Vietnamese.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Wave is from the Philippines and Arrow is from China.
Yep. So this is going to kind of be like a little bit of a role reversal because it kind of seems like you're going to have a Korean team going out to invade Japan in this scenario.
Well, it's not really invade Japan. They just have to stop Sunfire and his resistance.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So it's not Japan per se. It's stopping the resistance that just so happens to be led by a Japanese man.
There you go.
But is stopping him the right thing to do? That's the question.
I have a theory. This is just a theory. I think Luna Snow is going to join the resistance against Dr. Doom with Sunfire. That's my theory. I have no true basis for this, but mostly through Luna's interactions in this issue. If that makes sense.
Can you be a K-pop star if you're a criminal then?
It's fine. Okay. North Star is a freaking terrorist, and he got to have a freaking Olympic skiing career and a freaking famous company.
He's not a terrorist
in his country though.
haven't
He's a
half the
terrorist in
superhero roster in
Canada
this universe been a
twice.
terrorist at some point, or not terrorists, but they've been criminals at some points.
Yeah, if you're a
superhuman
mutant,
rights
you're going to be a
defenders-
terrorist for like 5 days.
Like you're gonna be a terrorist to someone.
I guess. So yeah. Aside from that, I thought this was a fine issue. You know, I mean, I've been collecting all of Luna Snow's appearances and comments, so yeah, I just want to support whenever they pop up. And Tiger Division, same thing. Agents of Atlas, same. So yeah, add it to your collection, audience, and also pick up that awesome White Fox variant while you're
Did
at
you
it.
notice how the guy who isn't here is the one they gave a whole different legacy to? So now he has no reason to be with people he actually should be with?
Who?
Swordmaster.
Oh yeah. I guess his old teammates are like, we liked you better when you had a sword, dude. Then you sold out. You know? Yeah. All right, audience. You have any final thoughts on this witch before we move on? You know, kind of have a lot of
It's a
books
good
to talk
book.
about.
I think this might be the only One World Under Doom thing that I might actually read.
Okay, cool. So, all right then. I guess in the interest of time, we probably should move on. So, Jake, this is you're doing the next book.
Yep.
Jake.
Welcome back to the Matoran universe because we're kind of all over the place this arc. But yeah, welcome back. This is Bionicle Island of Doom. The Paraka,
Jake?
the gang's on the
Jake.
loose. There's nothing
He's
you can
literally talking.
Yeah, Jake, of all the times for you to have a Bionicle topic that has Doom in its title, you know.
There you go. It's the Doom. It's the era of Doom. All right. But no, the gang on the loose. There's nothing you can do. The Toa Nuva showed up. They got their asses whooped, and now we got Jala and his team. And I don't have a third rhyme, so we can't make that work. But when we come back, we're actually going to focus more on Jala's team. Just a reminder, this is our team: Jala, Holly, Kangu, Noparu, Huki, Mataro, and for a little bit, Takanuva. And these seven are going to these seven are going to save the goddamn universe. By God.
Yeah. Remember, audience, this is Jake's keychain collection right here. So,
There you go. Yes, but in the Bionicle universe, it doesn't matter who you are. We all have a part to play in the greater destiny. So even if you're small, as long as you can fight, bro, as long as you can box, get in there, save the universe. So, anyway, last time we left off with Jala's team, they went through a cave of darkness. What was interesting about this cave was like once they went in, no light at all existed. So this one's okay, it was pitch darkness. Mataro actually felt somebody grab his hand in the darkness, but he didn't want to talk about it. He felt violated, I guess. Jala's like, listen, guys, from this point on, it's gonna be kind of crazy. So if you guys want to go back, go back. And like everyone's like, nah, we kind of in it now. So we gonna keep going. Takanuva and Jala kind of steal the spot for me. Oh, I forgot. Ever since we made it to Metro Nui, and actually, no, really Bionicle 3, like the Web of Shadows arc, they have been trying to backtrack anytime Makuta lost. Like, Makuta is the main villain. He's like the Thanos. He's the final boss, okay? When this story ends, it will be against Makuta, whoever the last Toa standing is. And he's already lost twice in this series. But I like how after book 2, like after we did like the Toa Metru beat him, they have been trying to backtrack like how they beat him. For instance, like in the last book, they were like, Makuta was like, oh, just so you know, like you didn't really beat me. Like it was more like I was distracted because I was eating people and my power was just kind of all over the place. So you didn't really like beat me. It was more like I was just powered down. And then in this one, Holly's like, man, Takanuva, I don't know why you're so scared. You beat Makuta one-on-one. And Takanuva's like, I don't know, man. It was really just because he was depowering himself to fight me because it was his ego. He wanted to really challenge me on a one-on-one. If he wanted to, he would have killed me. I'm like, all right, take the damn win, bro. Like, it's just like it's weird dialogue. I understand it. It's just because we can't have Makuta be a Saturday morning cartoon villain. And he only shows up every so often, so it doesn't make sense to try to revamp his character. And to be fair, in the Bakama book, we did see how much more of a menace he was when he was focused. So the groundwork has been laid to make this claim. it's just funny that every time we go back to a Toa beating the Makuta, it's always some kind of like, he wasn't really trying. If you really thought about it, you know what I mean? But anyway, so Jala's team, we get a little more character interactions with them. We pretty much cement that Nuparu, in case people forgot, Nuparu is the engineer. Now, I am kind of disappointed at this point in the book because Nuparu hasn't really had time to really prove how smart of an engineer he is. If you remember in like book 2-ish, the Borakal saga, Nuparu is the one who made the device that helps the Matoran fight back against the Borakal swarms, while the Toa Nuva were fighting the Borak individually. So he is a proven genius, okay? But he's not like he hasn't done anything impressive. He hasn't done some Reed Richards shit. That's kind of what I want from him. I want to see some Reed Richards shit from Nuparu. That's all.
Okay.
I want to hate this character.
But no, because he has proven himself, just not in this book. That's what I want. But
Okay.
I do like how we do get some of the tragedy of Metro Dewey in this as well. If everyone remembers that all these characters have existed since for 1,000 years, but they don't remember their lives before. Like the way the Metro Dewey story ended, it was that Makuta put all these people in a coma, and the Toa Metro saved them. But they don't remember their lives on Metro Dewey. Essentially, they all rebooted. They're like all robots that just kind of reset. And so we found out that Holly trained with Toraga Nokama to get some of her old skills back, which is like translating and shit like that. Which honestly, I think is supposed to be Mataro's job, but whatever. He's useless right now. Whatever. Greatest bionicle in the universe, but whatever. They come across this passage basically as they're exploring. Takanuva's leading the way, and he hits this invisible barrier. But what's crazy about this barrier is that it only keeps him out. The Matoran are allowed to go through. And Takanuva's a bit confused by this. Well, according to Holly's translation, from what they can interpret, the barrier keeps things that have the power of light out. Coincidentally, the only Toa they have is the Toa of light. So there you go. Takanova apparently can't go any further on this adventure with them, and the Matoran can't head back because the barrier is keeping them sealed in. I actually did like this scene between Takanuva and Jala, because I swear to you, if this was like modern day, they would have framed this as if they were in some type of relationship. But like, I do like how it's really platonic, but it's really heartfelt. Takanuva and Jala are like bros. Like, I know Takanuva looks 10 times Jala's size, but before that, he was a Matoran, and Jala was the leading part of their friendship, and they were just boys. They were bros. They went on the adventure together, and Takanuva became like the greatest Toa of the Toa Nuva, or at least he beat Makuta on his own. So, but I like how when Takanuva has to leave Jala, he tries to give him like a handshake goodbye, but the barrier keeps him away. And Jala's like, and Takanuva's like, dang, bro, I just want to like dap up my homie before I leave. I can't even do that. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna see you again. And Jala's like, man, we'll be back. It'll be all good. Just go tell the Toraga that we're on a mission. We'll be back. And if not, don't send help after us. Like, we'll be the last line of defense. And Takanuva's like, all right, homie, you be real with me. And he's like, yeah, you be real too. And they like dab. Well, they don't dab each other up, but they try to. But I do like the parting line too. I find this interesting. Takanuva says, Jala, you should have been the Toa of Light, because if it was really fair, you're more of a Toa than I was before I got this job. And I was like, nah, because to be real with you, being Matoran's hard enough. I don't really want to be a Toa. And I did like that exchange. Also, Takanuva spoils the plot, I guess. But Takanuva is talking to Holly as well. And he says this line that I really found irritating, because it's kind of like spoon feeding you shit. He's like, okay. There was that moment where I fused with Makuta, and I was in his brain, and I knew there was this whole big labyrinth of shit. Like, yeah, plans on top of plans, which we've heard Makuta tell Vakama before in like the past book. And he goes like, honestly, I think the reason I beat Makuta was because he wanted me to beat me. Like, at some point, you would just know that like we would get here eventually. And I think whatever his plan is, it doesn't matter if we win or lose. He has a plan that just is going to beat all of our plans at the end. That's kind of my fear right now. And well, I mean, if you know the story, that is kind of true. But whatever. Meanwhile, we go back to the Toa Nuva, who are still alive. They're just very depowered. And Lewa says, like, listen, like, like a week ago, I was like the strongest. I was on the strongest Toa team in the fucking verse. And then I got my ass kicked. My sword got broken. And now I don't have my powers anymore. They're not as good as it used to be. And also, like, now I'm getting beat up by Matoran. Like, what the fuck is my life right now? And yeah, so the Toa Nuva got into a fight with the Matoran because if you remember, the Matoran are not trusting of people calling themselves Toa. The last people who called themselves Toa were the Paraka, and we all know where that went. So the Matoran are fighting for their lives. I do like how the Matoran are kind of scrappy, like the Voyanui Matoran are scrappy. There's this one Matoran named Dula, and she has this gun that if it shoots you, if it hits you, it enhances your abilities. But the way she does that is like it fucks you over actually, because she uses it to hyper enhance Gali's sight. And so Gali, so you would think that's a good thing, but Gali's sight is enhanced to the point where it's like she doesn't just have Superman vision. She can see beyond the realm of space and time. She can see in between time itself, basically. It's really distracting.
Dang.
You don't want this kind of vision. Basically,
Okay.
and I like how Tahu's like, and so some of the Toa want to be like, you know what, like, we're having a bad day. Can we just like beat the dog shit out of them? And Tahu's like, no, because like we're still Toa. We can't just beat up these people we were sworn to protect. And Lee was like, well, wow, Tahu, I didn't realize that you had matured so much in between adventures. And Tahu's like, well, how about you shut the fuck up and just listen to me? How about that, huh? And so eventually Gali tries to break it up, but then this sight thing hits her. I do like this scene because this is a callback to Mask of Light. And Mask of Light, Tahu turned evil because it's not a Toa Nuva adventure unless a Toa Nuva member turns evil. Remember that. And when Tahu turned evil, Gali was the one who saved him. And Tahu sees Gali in pain. Usually they bicker a lot, but when he sees Gali in pain, he's like, no, I have to be there for her. I have to make sure she's okay. I can't help her like she helped me because I don't have the same powers as her, but I'm going to be there for her until she feels better. I love that scene. That's a great moment for Tahu. Kopaka, for some reason, just goes off. He's like, you know what? I'm kind of sick of this shit. And Kopaka just kind of walks through the battlefield, activating his powers, and he's like, you know what? I'm done. You're frozen. You're frozen. You're frozen. You're frozen. Like he frees the entire battlefield one by one. And then Tahu's like, guys, we gotta free the Matoran because like Kopaka just kind of lost it. And they free the Matoran and they're like, listen, for the last time, we are actual Toa. We're Toa Nuva from the island of Matanui. Please just believe us. And they're like, the fuck is Matanui? There's an island called Matanui? Toa Nuva? I never heard of this shit before. You're lying to us. Basically. And eventually like there's another Matoran that comes in. He's like, listen, I don't want to fight these guys, and they seem very genuine. Let's just like put the weapons down, call it a day.
Ooh.
Be cool. All right, let's
be civil. Be civil.
Yeah, be civil. Let's end this civil war and fight the real enemy, the Paraka. So the Toa Nuva now have Matoran allies. Boom, caught up with that. Meanwhile, the Paraka, this is where we get actually kind of interesting lore. Earlier in the book, Zocton was kind of talking to himself. Like, we know, like, Zocton gets these visions and shit like that. Zocton, the leader of the Paraka, he's by himself. And he's already worried because the Toa Nuva are free. And Hakan, the bully, the red one, Hakan's, like, spying on him and shit because he doesn't know why Zocton is being the way he is. Zocton, he looks around the corner. Zocton is talking to himself at first. And he's like, what the fuck is he talking to? And he turns his head a little bit and he sees this like giant fucking dude that he's never seen before. It's this like really big dude, just the shadows of him. He doesn't see the real guy, but he sees the shadows of him talking to Zocton. And he's like, who the fuck is that? And Zocton, and like eventually the guy goes away. And Zocton's like, and Zocton pretends like he doesn't see Hakan, but when Hakan leaves, he's like, all right, this dude's kind of onto me. I gotta keep that shit under wraps. So there's another villain introduced in the series. We don't know who this guy is, but we'll figure it out. Lastly, where I left off, we had Gali Nuva. She was having a dream where she was just running and she's like sprinting and she can't stop sprinting. And and this is when she starts hearing a voice, and the voice is like, hey, Gali, you need to go back home. You need to go back to your friends. And she's like, what are you talking about? Who's talking to me? And this is when we get the introduction, ladies and gentlemen, to the first Bionicle Titan in the series. I want you guys to meet Axon. So what do we think of the toy design, everybody?
That's pretty cool.
So it's metal, man. That looks
Axon is going to be an important side character for the next 2 books. We've gotten the foundation of setup for who he's supposed to be. And I will read the commercial promos like I always do, but I'm waiting for another character. I'm waiting for 2 more characters to show up so I can read his promo. But yeah, Axe sounds pretty dope. I think where I'm ending off now, we're back with Jala's team and they're climbing a mountain. And right now the mountain is so vast that they're not even sure if it has an end. They can't even see the top of it. At this point, Jala's just trying to keep everyone's spirits up, making sure that they're all a unit. I do like how Jala just is such a natural leader. Like, he doesn't doubt what he's saying, like, because he's not like Vakama. Like, when Vakama was leader, he would just doubt himself a lot. When Tahu was the leader, he was a hothead. So the problem was just basically he had to cool down. Jala is the perfect leader. He's calm and collected. He understands what his team needs, but he also understands when to push his team. And he's so good at being a leader that he can lead Toa if he needs to. So I actually really do like that aspect about his character. But they are climbing up a mountain and they are kind of debating like, oh, like this is obviously a trap. I don't know if we should be doing this. And Jala's like, listen, we know it's a trap, but my goal right now isn't to fall into the trap. It's to spring it ourselves, like basically put the trap into our control, basically. And that's where we kind of end off there. As far as the story goes right now, I'm kind of disappointed Takanuva didn't get more to do. This is kind of the first we've seen him in a long time. Keep in mind, Mask of Light was like 3 books ago. So it is kind of that. I do kind of like we do get to see the Toa Nuva doing more before we eventually do the baton pass to the Jala's team being the main protagonist. And I do like, again, we're trying to, again, as annoying as it reads, I do like how we're building back up Makuta, so we understand that like if Makuta showed up, it won't be as easy to beat him as it was last time. But yeah, there's like so much going on to it, and the lore continues to be interesting. I think the dialogue again is just great. I do like how these are characters we don't spend a lot of time with, but because of how they talk, you immediately understand their characters. You understand like where they are, who they are, where they're from, and how they interact. It's really nice, and you do see the cultures clash between them because remember, they might be all from the same island, but they're from different cultures on the island. So seeing those cultures clash is always interesting to see, and I think the Bionicle books do a great job of that. So yeah, next time when we come back, we will be catching up with Jala's team. Maybe we'll be seeing like where exactly they are and what's exactly is in store for them later down the road. And who knows? Maybe the Toa Nuva will get their run back with the Paraka before Jala's team shows up. So we'll see.
There you go.
Yeah.
Future looks bright for Bionicles, right?
Hold on. Well, we'll see.
Gotcha. But all right, then. Any final thoughts, man, before we move on?
Let's go.
All right. Let's go to Austin, if you're still here, dude.
I'm here.
Okay.
Fantastic Four number 30. But it's actually called Fantastic 3, thanks to Jake Tylenol. So Jake's made on Fantastic Four.
I'm calling it Fantastic Four number 723. I want to keep the legacy numbers a thing because we rarely see comics with a triple digit, numbering, So
just like Doom, Jake has been playing on this team since their conception. And in order to disprove or just slightly inconvenience Reed Richards, nothing this well. As you can see, Doom cures Ben. So this whole point of issue, at least at the start, is that Fantastic Four knows if Doom sees Reed, he will freak out and he will make a mistake. So they were begging, that was the whole point of this issue. They were begging that when they confront Doom, he will make a mistake and get into his ego and stuff when he sees Reed. But instead, he basically said, "Fuck you. I did the one thing you can't do. I cured your plan for good."
Yeah, this is like what? This is only like what the 5th time Ben's gotten depowered, right, audience? I'm surprised they never brought that up. Yeah, I'm surprised they never brought that up. This isn't the first time this happened with Ben.
Yeah, but usually there's nothing going on at the time, at least till like a few days later. That's like, damn, we really needed you. How dare you lose your powers again? You and your kids gonna respect you, regular human ass man? Really bring it up, dude.
Yeah, didn't you just have a talk with your children about their appearances, man? Come on, why is this whole thing mind breaking you, dude?
And it's funny because you see their dialogue, but they're like, "So why are you upset will lose your powers, man. Or
Yeah.
not all bodies as good as every other body. That what you told us.
Yeah.
For some reason, the first thing they do is take Ben shopping for new clothes. You never take a person out after they just went through something. Because the first thing he sees is the ever loving blue eye, nothing. He ain't shit.
They're trying his best to make him feel normal.
He apparently had sex with his girlfriend for the first time in a while. People don't know.
I wanted to bring that up so much. I know Ben is like, feeling like he just got his manhood stripped by losing, his stone body. But I'm like, dude, take the opportunity while you have it now. You have your wife over there. I mean, how many chances are you going to get to have your human body again, dude?
And he gets it once a year.
Yeah, like even she's like kind of teasing it. Yeah, let's go out on a date night for us, and afterwards we take advantage of your situation.
And it wasn't worth it. Because the moment they go out, they get robbed. You know why? Not because of Reed Richards, Jake, believe it or not, but because I don't know. I guess the guy saw a blind one, like, give me your money.
If Reed had cured him that night, she wouldn't have been robbed.
She really would have.
No, because the thing would have been there.
No. That would be uncuring him. Okay, that's not the same thing.
Well, listen, this is who he is now. He is the Rock Man. Okay,
but he also tries to fight the guy. He tries to stop the guy. He puts his hand on the gun like he's so used to doing. Get a whole shot to his hand, and you see. It's kind of sad, but it's also kind of funny because Alicia just like running down the wall. So I'm like, please help. And it's like, I get they're trying to do like imagery, like the blood coming from her head and stuff, but it looks funny for because of the view they did it. Because her running down the alley with her hands running on the wall and some dude choking out a child or something on the other side.
Oh, yeah. Keep in mind, she has blood in her hands at this point, audience. So when she's touching
it was a Doom bot. It was one of the patrol Doom bots. That's who saved Ben. Think about that. Doom saved him twice.
And the first time he didn't want to be saved. So that's something we have to learn from the Incredibles,
I'm just saying, Reed. I'm saying, Reed, check up. Check up. He's 2-0. 2-0.
Ben's like, Reed, I'm just not strong enough. He's like, bro, I disagree. Your body is still adjusting. And he's like, this ain't my body, bro. It can't do it. And he's like, Alicia been doing everything she can to keep me happy and cheer me up, but it's just not working, bro. I need to be the thing. I gotta be strong. Y'all need me.
That's character.
And he's like, bro, I'm not sure what you want me to do. Because if I get your powers back and the next week you're like, damn, bro, I'm big and blue, I'm gonna be pissed off. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. Dude, keep this in mind, audience. Like throughout this whole issue, Ben wants to be the thing again, right?
Yeah.
So for all future debates, I better not be seeing any writer from this point on having Ben rub that in Reed's face, like, hey, you never turn me back. Yeah, it's done, audience. Like
the moment he got kids of powers and stuff and had to make that stance he made, that whole debate's done. If Reed never cures him, that shit does not matter anymore. There's no more. You cannot cry about the shit anymore.
Yep.
But I like how Reed still uses powers to close the door in front of somebody. I think it's funny, bro. So just like slightly rubbing it in. But Ben, he still feels depressed and stuff. So he goes and sees the puppet master, aka Alicia Master's father, who's been in prison forever.
He's been in prison like at least before Ben and Alicia got married. Because remember, there was that one good issue where Ben actually decided to go pay a visit to the puppet master to, do the old school thing of asking for his blessing to marry. So,
Could they bring that up in this issue that Alicia apparently manipulated him with his powers?
What's funny? I like it if Reed was about to give Ben his powers back, and then Doom shows up last minute. He's like, "No, you don't. I did it."
This is that's also one of my favorite moments with the Ultimate Universe where Reed was about to stop the zombie invasion, and Doom was like, no, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get the credit. That's the last time we ever saw that Doom.
If you think you're a hater, wait till you meet Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
It's petty for petty sake, man.
Jake, you got nothing on Victor Von Doom, okay?
Yeah. Once you start doing
fool.
cosplay for a living, we
His
can
whole-
talk about it.
His
You
whole
fool.
grudge. His whole grudge
You fool.
against a man was because of a science fair project. Audience, keep that
And
in
it wasn't
mind.
his fault. He doesn't even know. It's Dave's fault, by the way.
You fool! I am a scholar of Doom. Okay, I study his
Okay.
arts every day.
His whole
Got
hate
it.
with Reed is built on a lie that he doesn't understand.
All
But,
right, so
He brings Clay to Puppet Master and tells him to, make me happy, man. I can't keep putting my family through this. So
that seems weird. Like, come on.
it's a weird first step. It's just like, I can't get my powers back. I guess I'll use a man's power to manipulate my fate to make me happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna force me to be happy. I mean, Ben, I'm sure there's certain
All right.
pills, medication out there for that. Just saying, dude.
My favorite part about this is that Alicia is smiling as she sits down at the table, but the moment she looks at him, she can't see shit. The moment she looks at his face, and she just feels him smiling, and she's like,
Mhm.
bro, we gotta have a talk about this.
Yeah. Oh man.
And she
was
gets
mad.
up there, and she goes off of her father. It's not even his fault. And then he's
Yeah.
like, I did that for you because he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And second of all, bitch, you use my power on me. I want you. You have no moral high ground in this situation.
Oh, and by the way, Alicia, just to let you know, I would have given him my blessing anyway that day. You didn't need to use your power, so yeah, more salt to the wound.
Yeah, trying to have the more high ground. That's he's mad. And it's like, bro, you cost me my sight. He's like, yeah, but that's like 60 years ago. Get over it. Damn, it's a long time in comics.
Yep.
But he gives her the box of the Ben, Clayman Ben, and I didn't realize it was so bad that he could not stop smiling. He's smiling with tears in his eyes, bro.
This is a Joker level smile, audience.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And as he's holding her, his smile finally breaks as he drops the clay down and it shatters. So like it's interesting to see because this guy didn't really plan this event initially, it's interesting to see how most of his times is more about exploring the dynamics of the four instead of trying to actually defeat Doom in a sense.
Yep.
But I think that the whole thing has run kind of been just been like subvert your expectations of what you usually get with Fantastic Four writers, I guess. But we do get to see what in the Surface Society.
It looks like them, yes.
Yeah, but all the prisoners from the place where Puppet Master escapes except for him. He just stays there and takes his jail time, trying to become a man worthy of his daughter's love.
Yep. Another villain redemption here, audience.
To be fair, realistically, he should have been redeemed. Like, the man has actually done like a villain plan like 10 years at this point, bro. Come on.
Yep. There was just one thing I kind of found weird in this issue, right? Like, you see Ben when he walks up to Puppet Master, he received a hand injury. So why is he walking on crutches?
I thought about that too.
Yeah,
so I thought it was more of no. So you see him fall to the ground, but a guy shoots him 2 more times.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to
So after the hand shot, the next panel is Ben falling to the ground, and the guy shoots 2 more shots, and then Ben falls on the side.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is the way the artist drew it, you don't see where the wound is. Because she has way too much blood on her hand from that, like from just grabbing his hand. So it looks like he got shot in the gut somewhere else.
Yeah. So yeah, I just
it's just bad artist situation. Now I won't say bad artist, but not a clear drawing.
Yep. There you go.
But shout out to the Surface Society for getting more screen time here than in their own movie.
I know, right? Yeah, but regardless, I thought this was better than the last issue, really. You know, and it's funny how each issue seems to be exploring a different member of the Fantastic Four for this tie-in. Next issue, audience, it's gonna be the gender bend issue.
Yeah.
Remember,
So now, I guess we get to explore Reed and Sue's relationship again in a different way.
yeah, that actually is kind of going. I will kind of find that
We'll
a little
see
bit
if
interesting.
Jake
You know,
likes fem read over mask read.
Yeah.
Maybe like we just need to change
Maybe,
I think
the
maybe,
hormones,
which
and then
yeah.
we can figure out who works better.
maybe he just need a Reed that he can goon to respectfully.
Yeah,
Respect.
exactly. We need a goon
Oh.
respectfully.
You know what? Hey,
That's
not
our
respectfully.
tagline, guys.
No,
Not
That's our
respectfully.
tagline. Comic
Tastefully.
Fanatic. Goon responsibly.
gotcha.
Tastefully.
And oh no, yeah. I kind of want to see a female Reed treat her husband like crap too at certain points. You know, so see how
What?
that dynamic turns
What are
out.
you talking about?
Reed is not
Oh, no.
treat Sue like crap.
Well, like in the early days, didn't he?
Well, but this fast forward the goddamn 60s, okay?
Okay, I just want to be sure. You know, like he doesn't treat. Just saying, he doesn't give her enough appreciation because remember, he always puts his work first above everything else. You know, so
Well, when work is saving the world, somebody got to take the L, okay?
gotcha.
You know, he wasn't hate feminine. Let's just put it like that.
At least pegging will be
But
easier.
but
Mhm.
shout out to Reed. He stopped the supervillain Malice with sexism. It was very funny.
Mhm. Oh
So take
damn,
that
we did
stupid
all
ass
this.
outfit off.
Gotcha. Oh, we went through this whole issue and we forgot to show the other pages. This
That is
him being
fine, bro.
shot, and this him of having the clay version of him. So yeah, yeah. There we
Yeah,
go, audience.
this one didn't really
Yeah.
have a lot of great visual stuff, so I did try to grab like the biggest moments, I guess.
Yeah. So all right then. Any final thoughts before we move on?
It really was a fantastic 3, and I put that on 3.
Yeah, where the fuck was
Gotcha.
Johnny?
T.
He showed up 2 times
Where's
after
my
Bill was
favorite
injured. That was
fire
it.
bisexual?
Johnny's like the worst person alive in Marvel Comics.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
worst people alive in Marvel Comics, okay?
Gotcha. All right. So I guess with that, we should move on to the next book, audience. Do-do-do-do.
Thunderbolts.
All right. Doomstrike number 2.
I didn't read this.
Austin did. He did it for the group. So
You
tell us
said
what
you
happened.
did it too. I don't hear that.
Hey, I didn't read this book, man. Come on, you know I don't want to
No,
see
you
this.
did. Oh, no. Hell no. You're not going to gaslight me. You said that it was a special request that Carl wanted this book and that you read it and you said, I got to read it so we can talk about it.
I didn't say I read this book, man. That's why I kept asking you. Did you read this? Yeah, because you know I don't want to see this duo ever write Bucky ever again. You know.
I mean, said you looked at it and everything. You saw that John Walker was skinny.
Yeah, I skimmed it at my comic book shop. I'm like,
Also,
okay.
Jake, I hate this man, bro.
Also, Cryptid.
Yeah.
Cryptid, I want you to look up who is the writer for Absolute Martian Manhunter later. Not right now, but later. You're going to be
yeah, I
very
know who it is.
surprised.
Yeah, we know
Yeah,
who
I
it
know
is.
who it
We just
is.
don't read the
Yeah.
book. We don't do
Yeah.
DC
Well,
like
I
that.
did, so.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
should talk about it.
I don't
All
want
right.
to talk about it unless someone else is going to talk about it. I don't think I could carry an
Gotcha.
absolute book right now. I'll be right back.
All right, Austin, go ahead. Talk about this book. What happened? How did they treat
Thunderbolt
John Walker?
Doomstrike.
Mhm.
Bro, I did not care about John Walker. I'm honestly over it, man. Bucky's
Cool.
trying to beat Incognito. He's the world's most wanted man. John Walker destroyed a fucking TV because he's a dickhead.
Okay, and
he's a drunk.
and
Why?
he curses a
I don't
lot.
know.
I don't know why. They kind of seem like they want to show that John Walker's a tough asshole by having him curse a lot, which is not.
He's pissed,
something.
AWOL, and 4 shots in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently John Walker has a house, apparently, audience. So there's that.
Well, to be fair, it's because he's AWOL. He probably just had a backup place to go to in case anything happened.
Gotcha. Oh,
I
we got
doubt
a
like he
couple
actually lived here. I think that's realistic.
Gotcha. We got a couple comments. Kara saying, "Poor 616 John Walker is so starved for good storylines. His body has started to eat itself." Oh, there you go. That's the explanation you need right there.
I
Why he
don't
looks so
mind
strong.
him being skinny with Bucky standing right next to him. But when anyone else is there, it's like, shouldn't both of y'all be bigger than most other people around y'all?
Exactly, you know. And Kara's also saying, "Be glad you didn't read it. Most of them were so out of character." Okay, so you're in
I
Power
I
Rangers.
don't want to hear that shit from you. You know the reason I'm reading
Yeah. Thanks for that advice for making me dodge a bullet, Kara. So
it. Some
friends
bullshit,
are
man.
for. So go ahead, talk about it, Austin. Go ahead.
And we see some dead Doombots nailed to a wall. I don't think I got any photos of this, so it doesn't matter. But
Yeah, just
who is this? Oh, Sharon Carter, Destroyer. I feel like she's gonna be a stupid ass name now.
yeah, yeah.
Sharon Carter in a
It-
cowboy hat calling herself the Destroyer. Ooh, she's here. She's here with Bucky and them trying to figure out what's going on. They're all
mhm.
basically reuniting, trying to get some. They're trying to do that MCU scene where they're at the bar and she just kind of walks and starts telling Cap information,
Yeah.
but making it look like she's not doing that. But
Great.
what?
No, go ahead.
Oh, but yeah, John's still cursing a lot, and where's like Doom gonna attack next? My house, my hometown. Like if we attack
Mhm.
Doom, Doom's gonna do something big. Where does this battle end? Like what's the end game with this scene? Of us just sneaking around trying to fight Doom by ourselves, and he
Right.
breaks another glass. To be fair, that's a reasonable response. It is weird that John's the one making it.
Mm-hmm.
Because John is really duty. I don't think he's duty over everything, but he's usually duty first.
Yeah, he's a straight
Like I don't.
shooter, you know.
So seeing him be drunk is like, oh, this is just weird, out of
Yeah.
character. Like he's trying to draw Bucky like where he's gonna have like the remnants of like the Winter Soldier eyes, the black stuff around it, like black mascara around his eyes and stuff.
Right.
But it just looks stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently,
At least they got rid of
apparently
the man.
Sharon got a metal chin in this story.
Who?
Sharon has a metal chin.
I don't know what the purpose of
There's
that
a
is.
chin like uh in her first photo on the top of the screen. She has her regular face out. Then at the bottom, she has a metal piece across her chin. Like her cheek, chin, and the other cheek. I don't
I,
know.
yeah, I don't know what the purpose of that is, but okay, go for it, I guess.
They're attacking the Doom train. It's being piloted by AI. It's Doom. So they're going to give something to react to, but they're trying to stop the resources from making it into Wakanda or wherever the fuck it was supposed to be going. Who the fuck is this? This random revolutionary with a mohawk. He just almost blows it up.
I do not want to hear the word revolutionary again.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's his name now. It's officially his name in canon, according to this
No,
issue.
screw that. They are not
So
dead
he's
men in
trying
the
to.
Winter Soldier.
We do see John his outfit. He looks good once he's in the outfit.
Okay.
He has a cool, unique. I won't say intense panel,
Kara's
but
saying they're after the toxic gossip train. Yep.
then we get Sal Romero, World War II veteran. He's pissed, retired, and ready to burn. And this is a Ghost Rider for World War II. Why is he here? I don't fucking know anymore. But apparently Bucky called him. He was like,
Again, Ghost
for
Rider.
some reason, just in my contacts for 40 years.
Yeah. The World War II Ghost Rider is a good concept on paper, but he really should have been introduced like 40 years ago, audience.
Yeah.
So now you're going to have to be like, you're going to have to ask yourself, okay, so where exactly was this Ghost Rider in all this time? I'm pretty sure all the Ghost Riders in general had events
You're not
going on.
convincing me. You're not convincing me a Ghost Rider was around and Jim Hammond's the one who killed Hitler.
Yep. You know.
No offense to Jim Hammond, but like Ghost Rider would have been all over that shit in the war.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like just like old times, Bucky. So they have history randomly.
Wow.
Wait, who is? Oh yeah, so Sharon's armor. What you know about her armor?
Just say it gives her minor up.
No, like her armor, she knocks the train off the rails. So like, I don't know anything about this shit.
Go for it, man. Like I know it's so weird. They always try giving Sharon such powerful upgrades, right? But nobody gives a damn, really. Like,
In the battle where she hits the train, she looks like Titania.
wow. So
But
now you're telling me she's basically Iron Man level strong.
Basically, she knocked the whole train off the rails.
Wow.
Like, it's like
Okay.
bullet train speed too.
Okay, I guess.
But
This is gonna be.
they all run
This is
in
gonna,
screaming USA, let's take it back, protection protocols, activate, let's do all this. And then Citizen V, Valentina. I've got her name really started with a V. Citizen V, Valentina shows up. The original, not that 10. Wait, what? Wait.
yeah, you mentioned that it was the original one, not the LMD one we saw in the last run.
Oh no. Okay, that was what you meant. I was saying you're not the original Citizen V. I'm not. I'm not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember the LMD. You're right. The original
Yeah.
Valentina's back. She counted. They're like, you're supposed to be dead. She's like, bro, come on now. We're spies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bucky is trapped under the rocks and shit. Uh, John Walker gets disrespected as always. He tries to stand up. She steps on his face and puts him back in the dirt.
Of course. Of course.
Destroyer. Sarah Connor tries to run in with her destroyer armor weapons and shit. Gets her weapon immediately broke.
Okay.
This thing is clowned on. Ghost Rider comes in, grabs her, starts riding away. She basically Uno reverses this motherfucker, and then look, he dies. It looks like he dead.
Okay.
And so she just casually kills Ghost Rider. Congratulations. Wait, maybe he has a whole weapon.
Wait. Who kills Ghost Rider?
Citizen V.
Does she have like a magical imbued sword?
It's glowing purple and stuff, so it might be. They don't split
Okay.
it here.
Okay, whatever. Go ahead.
But he might not be dead. He might just be knocked out. But it's hard to tell. But he definitely going to grab someone. Don't worry about me, Buck. Just beat her. And he stops talking.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he'll be back. Oh, so he did die, but he's going to come back as Ghost Rider, obviously.
Yep.
It's whatever. We can say his body's destroyed, but his head's not.
Mm-hmm.
But Valentina's being an asshole. She's being like super. She's being like super arrogant. She takes off her mask. Like she keeps putting it on and off like it's some type of weird pirate, bro. Like we do not care. We know who you are. We know what you look like. Please put the mask back on.
Yep.
Darren tries to talk. I'm going to skip over her dialogue. Valentina tries to flirt with John for some reason. Like she puts her face, like her hand on his face and like rubs under his skin.
What the heck, dude?
But she does. She captures him though. While everyone else escapes, she captures John.
Wow. So John's the only one here in this team who got captured. Is what you're telling me.
For what it looks like. Yeah, Bucky. Ghost Rider's dead or gone for right now. Bucky's on a plane by himself. John's with her. Apparently, apparently Sharon got the safety off screen because fuck you, I guess.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
I never want to read this book again.
Okay, so you could technically say that John wasn't the most disrespected character here because he didn't get killed. That Ghost Rider.
Other than getting like his face up, dog, he was okay in the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Rider shit had a first appearance, died, that was it.
Wow. Okay, so Kara is also saying nothing made sense in this issue, and most of the characters were out of character, but they remembered to have a hero be a hero at the end. So points for not being completely terrible. Yeah.
So why did you want us to read it?
Hey, so I've seen this duo do worse stuff before, audience. So.
They're not done. They're not done.
No, they have one more issue left or something like that.
They have like 2 more things.
Oh God. Oh God. Well, thanks, Kara, for advising me not to read this issue, buddy. So.
And thanks, Kara, for making me read this issue for a reason.
Okay, Austin. If it makes you feel better, you know what? For next issue that comes out, I'll read that if you read the finale. How about that?
Fine.
Okay, all right, dear. You heard it, your audience. So, okay, Kara's saying I think it's 5 issues. Okay, okay, so we'll flip a
Well,
coin on
Jake,
that.
you can read the finale. I'll read 4. You read 3. There you go.
Yeah.
The
We
review's
need
gonna
more
be
John.
some shit's happening, and I didn't care.
That's
By
fine.
the time
It doesn't matter as long as you do it.
Jake, we need some U.S. agent defenders here to defend his
I
characterization.
defend
After all,
I think
defend
you're the
MCU.
only one
hang
who
on.
defends U.S. Agent. I have
Time
not
out,
met
time
anyone
out.
else.
I defend MCU US Agent because up until this point he's been a solid character. I don't know how he's been treated in the comics, and I don't care. So
I also don't
Gotcha.
care.
Kara saying sorry, Austin. So, all right. Well, question, Austin: does Bucky have his old arm back?
It's hard to fucking tell, man. He doesn't use it for anything.
Okay.
Like he didn't get a fight to hit you. He just got beat up real fast, like one panel, cut. That's it.
Gotcha. They need to get rid
Bucky
of
spent
him.
both his issues on the ground, and then he ran away.
Yeah. So I know. As long-time comic book readers, you hate the concept of putting the toys back in the toy box, right? But in this case, please return the toys back. Wayne and Kelly.
Nah, because they did it in Rivals. I doubt that arm was going away anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get the Russian star off of it, please?
Kara saying, I defend U.S. Agent. So, see that, Witch? I'm not the only one who defends them. So, yeah.
Okay, that's like 2 people. That doesn't
Yeah,
prove
it's his
anything.
fan.
The only
Yeah,
person you need to defend is what's his name? U.S. Kaiju?
Oh, the American Kaiju, yeah.
That's you need to defend, Car. Godzilla is attacking Marvel, and they didn't even think to use their Godzilla against it.
I know, right?
They didn't even say Fing Fang Foom.
I thought he was going to face it off against Fing Fang Foom. Or...
He fighting Spiderman before he fight him, I guess. That's what I thought.
Oh, man. Well, it's their toy to play with, I guess. So, all right, audience. Doomstrike number 2. All right. So, we'll see you in the next issue. All right. I guess with that we can move on to the next book.
Is the little old me's turn finally? Okay, well it's my turn. You guys ready for this? Okay, I guess I wasn't but too fucking bad. Anyways, talking about Avengers Academy issue 38, red right hand. Sorry, it's a lot of words. Anyway, so it starts off with Sidorak because of course it does, and he's like, "Rage! It is my gift to the children of the earth." Blah 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 blah. Whatever. I don't care. It's Sidorak. He has an awful taste in fashion. Okay, just letting you know that now, right, Austin? Okay, well, fucking ignore me. Great, thanks.
That's my goat.
Well, he still has terrible taste in fashion, regardless if he's the goat or not. Look at these dumbass helmets. Anyways, so it starts off in Japan occupied Korea during World War II. I wonder if I figured. Anyways, explosions happen. And Ryuji's like, "What the hell have you done, Roth?" And Arnie's like, "Oh, don't you see? Like, me and the gang, we're blowing this place up. Like, I'll catch you later." And he yeets off the balcony into the water like a baller. He's the real goat here. But don't worry. So we see Ryuji in his weird little Sidorak home thing. I don't fucking know what this is. Temple thing? I don't know. And Ryuji's like, I vow to have my vengeance on you, Arnie Roth. And so the Baron Strucker pulls up and he's like, "Supreme Hydra, I thought I would find you here, And they stage an escape, this. Like I had noticed, so it's great. And so we see Strucker potentially doing something. He's like, it seems your failure is quite complete. And what this little trinket ring thing is? It's the Gorath stone. Like, it's pretty cute, not gonna lie. But so Ryuji is like, "What are you doing? Be careful with that, you buffoon," and all this other stuff. And guess what? Strucker don't give a damn, because you know what? He kills Ryuji with it. R.I.P. I guess. And so Ryuji's like, "What the fuck?" And Strucker is like, "You call me an oaf, a clod, a bully. learn that, and then history's last and cruelest lessons, the bully always wins. I mean, that's not true, but kind of. Anyways, so Ryuji's dead. The only thing that's left of him is the red gauntlet arm thing that he was wearing. So can you switch to the first picture, please? So Strucker takes the thing, and he is now the supreme Hydra person. Don't worry about it. He's a nerd anyways. No one likes a weird nerd. Like, we like nerds, but just not his kind of nerd. You get me? Anyways, so we cut over to the rest of Arnie's squad. And so yeah, it's not fun. So basically one of them's like, Justin, you're bulletproof. Like, I can bounce like maybe 3 or 4. Like, Eric's obviously so. And yeah, so basically the squad goes to Sidra temple thingy and everything like that. And Justin's grandfather over to the thing, you know, so that he won't die because it's shelter. You know, shelter's better than nothing. And so Justin accidentally calls him grandfather, and he calls that out, you know. And he's like, oh, it's true, isn't it? Like, and all this other stuff. And he's like, Justin's like, shit, I might have revealed a little too much. And it's fine. Don't worry about it. You're dying. You have a big wound on your chest, you know. So, you know, we got to go. Anyways, they're sitting in front of Sidorak's temple, like in front of the gem, like the full gem, not a chunk of the gem, you know how it be. Anyways, so his grandfather's like, after this war, these horrors, I started to believe that, you know, too bad your Korean's not better though. Hey, it's not his fault, okay? His mom let him leave Korean school, okay? It's like, it's not his fault. Well, it kind of is, but at the same time, you know, you can only do so much. He lives in Canada. Okay? Like, you can only do so much. But it's fine. And Justin jokes are like, haha, you can teach me, you know. But Strucker pulls up. No, he can't. No, he can't teach him Korean, unfortunately. Because Strucker has to pull up with his gang and be bitches. And so, his grandfather is like, never, and decides to grab the fucking stone because, of course he would. He's a juggernaut, you know, he's a cool juggernaut. And he's like, I'm sick of this shit, you Axis scum. Like, fuck you, I'm gonna be Juggernaut again. And, well, not again, but he's like, I will become Juggernaut just to spite your asses. And that's what he does. And Sidorak's like, yes, after centuries of sleep, I'm back, bitches. Like, let the world again fear me. Can you switch to the next picture? So, yeah. That's it. Sidorak is like, I'm awake. Fuck you, bitches, I'm here. And so Strucker is like, maybe I could be your guide in this world, Sidorak. Like, much has changed while you sleep. The powers and principalities have shifted and all this other stuff. And he's like, the Empire of Japan now controls one of the largest armies in human history. Like, it conquered, like, beyond here and many other places. And, like, Hydra will, like, you know, will help sweep the earth. And you can get more power. And Sidorak's like, I don't crave power, ugly little man. Like, that's a quote. I was like, I am power. And I'm just like, I mean, where's the lie? Where's the lie? I don't see no lies. He is an ugly little man. He's a literal Nazi, but whatever. Anyways, so Strucker's like, yes, but to take the world, we must break it. Like, grant me your mighty weapon, like your Juggernaut, make him my slave. Like, give me 10 years. Like, don't worry, I got you. And Justin's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So he turns into his Juggernaut form because, you know, he still has access to that. And so, you know, Sidorak and Justin face off again, and he's like, curious, time lost boy, you are mine, but not mine yet. Like, but in you I sense a rage. And Justin again repeated, I will never serve you. Like, I have better things to do. Like, shit. And
to get my
Sidorak's
fucking power back.
Don't worry about it. He always had his powers. He just had to hide them.
Exactly. You want to serve me? Get my
hide them
fucking
so
power
that
back,
it doesn't
bitch.
disturb the time continuum. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so Sidorak's like, probably not, but today I plant seed so that he can falter. It's great. And everything like that. And so everyone's trying to tell Justin's grandfather to, like, one side is like, oh, you should serve me. Justin's like, no, don't. You can't, like, you can let him go. All this other stuff. And his grandfather's like, I can't fight it. And so, unfortunately, Sidorak does what Sidorak does and forces him to use the Garath Stone, the Chaos Ring, blah, 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 blah. And so now, you know what Justin's grandfather does, which is kind of cool?
No.
But you know what he does? He decides to break the gem and say,
Howard?
yeah, so basically he's like, you can enslave my mind strucker, but this demon will not have my soul. And Sidorak's like pissed off. He's like, how fucking dare you, bitch? How fucking dare you defy my gift of rage? And so basically he takes a chunk of the gem and he asks Arnie to go give it, like, take it to his wife and his son, and he's like, a piece of my heart goes out to them. Like, tell them to remember who I was, not the monster they make me. And unfortunately, Strucker takes control of Jin Taiko, unfortunately. I don't like the fact that he was forced to use that name. But obviously, Justin's upset. Like, he's like, no, like, you gotta fight this. And so, as you saw in the cover, they gotta duke it out a little bit. So basically, his grandfather's like, you have to go, like, in the best way he can while trying to fight it. And Justin's like, I'm not leaving you. And can you switch to the next picture? Unfortunately, he has to leave. So Kid Immortus pulls up and he's like, yeah, it is done. We gotta go. And he's like, I'm sorry, time's up. Like, the timeline is fine. Like, it's fine. We gotta go. Unfortunately, you can't save your grandfather. And so Eren has to, like, hold back Justin from staying in the past. Unfortunately. And unfortunately, his grandfather has to do stuff that he's not proud of because of Strucker's bullshit. So, there's probably an allegory in here that I don't want to really think about right now, but it's fine. Anyways, so Arnie and the rest of his crew are outside of Sidorak's temple thing, and they're trying to, like, go through, like, everything that just happened and stuff, which it fucking sucks. But don't worry. Their pilot friend and their dog are still alive, so that's good news. Yeah? Okay, never mind. Anyways, so they have to fill Michael, their pilot, back up to what happened, but don't worry about it because we have to cut to 4 years later. And so we see Arnie in his post-war outfit, like his post-war uniform outfit, and he goes to his wife, like, not Arnie's wife, but I'm blanking on his name, but, like, Justin's grandfather, his wife, so basically Justin's grandma goes to her house and basically gives the gem of Sidorak to them, so now it belongs to Justin's father, kind of. But before he gives the gem, he basically Arnie has to tell them that, like, I'm fucking blanking out right now. Sorry, guys, but, like, basically, Justin's father is like, my dad is a traitor, blah 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 blah, and Arnie is like, no, it's it's so much more than that. Like, he's not a traitor, but here's a box from your dad. Don't open it until you're old enough. And can you switch to the last picture? Thank you. So basically it ends up like this, and, like, it's his story to the future, blah 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 blah. And that's where the issue ends. So next week it's to the past. I don't know who we're gonna go to next, but I think it's gonna be to the girlies next, and then it's gonna be to the kiddos. And that's where the issue ends. And now I'm tired.
All right.
But also, Anthony, you know who you are. I'm sending you my therapy bill because when I first read this, it wrecked me completely. So, I'm sending you my therapy bill. Thank you.
Gotcha. All right, then, audience. I guess with that, we should move on to the next book. Do.
Yay, Ultimate Wolverine number 3.
Go ahead, Austin.
Austin,
The
this is
book
also
you
your
want to
book,
talk
right?
about. Yep.
Yeah, Ultimate Wolverine number 3.
Talk
As you can
about
see on
the
the
book. Talk about the book you want to talk about right now, Austin. Go ahead.
as you can see, he's hunting down what they call the opposition right now, led by Kitty Pryde and Gambit, but also Black Widow, who has more ties with mutants in this timeline.
Apparently, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't
But
expecting, but here we are.
the book starts off with her sneaking around trying to find her contact with the army, which is Gambit and Kitty, and let them know the information about the new weapon that's being used against them, and how now they need a car, they need gas, and Black Widow's like, I can do all those things. Car and gas, light work for me.
Also,
You see
Gambit has an
Wolverine?
eye patch. Just fun fact.
Fuck that iPad.
Mm-hmm.
It's
They
not my
want to try to make him
iPad.
look cool. This nigga lost depth perception. I don't want to hear that shit. His power to throw things. He made it hard to throw things.
I mean, it's not my fault he has a fucking eye patch. It's probably a reason.
But Wolverine's crawling through the sewer. He catches on to his tent. He's leading 3 armed soldiers by under control of Ileana and them.
Uh-huh.
But they gave them antimantium bullets just in case Wolverine turns around and tries to kill him.
Wow.
But we see Gambit left charged grenades. Go to this photo.
Who is it?
That's the Black Widow reveal. I forgot I put that on here. So that's your first full look at Gambit, Kitty, and Black Widow, the leaders of the opposition right now. All right, next photo.
Not that one.
No, that was it.
Oh, that was it? Okay, never mind. I thought it was a different page. My bad.
No, the other one's the last one. So Gambit left charges throughout the sewer. So Wolverine grabs one of the people with him and yeets them over to the charges so he can set them all off.
Mm-hmm.
I like how he uses chess pieces now.
What?
I like how he uses chess pieces now instead of just cards.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like when he used variety stuff too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's harder to like walk around with chess pieces though.
I want him to have D&D dice. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah,
I want him to be able to charge the dice with how many rolls he gets.
Yeah.
But these charges were powerful as shit. This guy got skeletonized.
The bigger the number, the bigger the bomb. Go fast.
But they hear the bombs go off, so they're all prepared. Kitty is dating Gambit this timeline. They kiss as he goes, and he's like, "Bro, I'm gonna be all right. You gotta worry about yourself." It's like this is cute and all, but it's so weird since Gambit had one ship for like 50 years now.
Yeah, it is very, very weird. I want to bring up something on the next page after that I wanted to really to bring up briefly, if you will give me the
Go
floor.
ahead.
So basically, after Kitty leaves, Gambit has to like get everyone like ready to fight. But we get introduced to this one person, right? And when I first saw this, I was like, who the fuck is this like dark-haired elven person? So I thought it was potentially Aurora. So I asked the writer, I was like, who the fuck is this? Right? I have my theories. Who is this? And they told me it was a random person. And I was like, fuck my life. So it's not Aurora, unfortunately. I wish it was. I think it would have been very interesting. But at least if Aurora's in this universe, she is still technically alive. Let's fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
Not with that haircut.
Mm-hmm.
You thought I hated her hair. And the last book was talked about her in it.
Just fuck ass things.
But Wolverine's moving in. He slices through the reinforced doors. And we get the scene here from charging at Gambit. And Gambit still playing his playing cards. There's only 52 on him, so I hope there's good enough for him. But this does nothing to the 6'4" Wolverine, okay? The 5'3", maybe. But 6'4", nah. And Jake, are you still here?
Jake's dead. I killed him.
That's probably not. But I wanted to tell him that in the panel after that, Wolverine does the thing that he hates. He hates in the Deadpool movie, where he gets out on all fours and dies with Gambit's shots.
Like, who are you?
to
Well,
rush it off.
what the him think?
And I was like, nah, this was a fuck you to Jake. But as they try to drive away, he like said he is fast as fuck on 4 legs. He is faster than he was on 2, and he is catching up to the ship. He's catching up to this driving truck, and he dives and tries to grab the back of it. And not only does he do it, he succeeds. He opens it up, and he's about to murder all the innocent kids and stuff inside. All for Kitty probably be like, bro, what the fuck is Logan?
Oh my fucking god, it's Logan.
And he's like, Logan, stop! You can't kill me, idiot. You already know what happened. But I'm gonna help you remember. Hey, go to the next picture.
I have to ask a very specific question. Is that person in the corner holding Logan? Who the fuck is that? Because some people are saying it's Danny Moonstar. Like, who the fuck is that?
I thought it looks like Danny. He even had the old headband. He even had the old headband.
Man, that just kind of that made me.
I'm not saying
wonder
it
if that was
is,
Nova.
I'm saying it is. I don't know what the right says.
You know,
Man, I thought that was Cassandra Nova for a sec, because the whole finger thing through the head.
Oh, we're not talking about that part. We're talking about the right at the top right part. We see Wolverine holding a woman.
Also, we're getting a Kid Juggernaut solo book, by the way. I just thought I'd let you know that's the that. Okay, thought I'd let you know. Anyways, move on.
Go ahead.
Man, fuck Kid Juggernaut. Where is he in this universe, huh?
He's not in this universe. He just
where's Ultimate Kid Juggernaut?
He's too busy fighting Kane Marco or whoever the fuck. Anyways, so going back to the actual book. So literally,
you can see here
off the truck. He eats him off the truck.
No, I'm not going to that. If you go to this photo, we see Wolverine's past put together where he still was butt ass naked running around with wolves like a goddamn idiot. But we see him as a young boy on the farm, so they're still keeping that aspect of his origin. We see him when he first gets experimented on by these people. The thing that confused me, like we see him fight Colossus, we already knew that was going to happen. I don't really care about the damn thing as much as him fighting a goddamn Sentinel. Because if you're telling me the mutant revolution has been active and active for this long, and their Sentinels and all that shit already exists, how the fuck is Sunfire controlling Japan?
Because of the Maker.
That's what I'm saying, though. But it's like, you're a mutant, though. I get it. Like,
so
it's corrupt and shit.
Ileana and Omega Red, but you don't see them complain.
I can believe Colossus being evil more than I believe Colossus following his sister more than like the Sunfire situation and the whole cult and all the other crazy shit going on in Japan right now.
I think the cult is its own thing. I think the cult is its own thing, if I can remember off the top of my head.
Like the idea there's a whole cult and a mutant Lake Japan, but also on the other side of the planet, just Sentinels hunting down mutants is crazy to me.
Maybe some of the parts of the Sentinels came from Japan, and they were designed to say you could go after all the mutants except the ones in Japan.
You see the Sentinel has a smaller head. It kind of reminds me of more of the prototype ones from the movie, the ones that were blue and they pretty fast. I don't know. This is what it reminds me of.
Those kinds. All right.
But not the future days pretty fast. The strongest Sentinels ever to exist that will never show up in comics. But the prototype that Bandito ripped apart and was controlling.
So going back to the actual book.
But yeah, you see Wolverine fall off the truck, and she's like, "We hope
Kitty kicks him off the truck."
Does he kick him? Yeah, you're right.
Kitty kicks him off the truck, and so he falls over, and she's like, "Till we meet again." And so we get some narration boxes that says, "Logan, why don't you remember?" And that's where the issue ends. But we get a poster for mutant liberation in the Eurasian Republic. So maybe we might get a crossover with Ultimate X-Men. Doubt it for right now, but maybe. And
we also get a... Go ahead.
And then we get a news article talking about the massacre of Mikhail Rasputin. That's where it is.
Who I don't think we saw die.
I don't remember. I kind of listened in this book.
Yeah, they're calling this organization the Opposition. I was worried about the dumb shit. Goddamn. But they mentioned, but the biggest point of this issue right here is that they mentioned that Henry McCoy is also working with Gambit and them.
Okay.
Wow, Hank, you're actually doing something potentially good for once. Good to know.
So apparently the main two revolutionaries that the paper knows is Hank and Remy. They don't know. They don't seem to know about Kitty, but it makes sense because she can just face the wall and disappear and shit. But basically, Colossus just tells them, "Hey, y'all, don't be fooled. We're gonna fuck these people up. It don't matter." But on the side of the paper, we get tragedy sweeps, high no CUNY middle school after numerous students' deaths. I think that had to do with Witch's book.
Ultimate X-Men, yeah, because it was like the beginning of the book, yeah.
We get a part, who is this masked man swinging through New York City with Spiderman, and we get mysterious fighter commands lightning in the upper and lower kingdom, which is obviously Storm. And I was like, I wish they do more than newspaper thing. Like, this is actually pretty cool way to keep us updated, but also let us know what events are happening at the same time.
Right.
So I hope this is an ongoing thing. Next issue, it was like Wolverine's gonna find a polar bear for some fucking reason. But after that, the issue after that, Ultimate Sabretooth appears, and that's a big dog. That's what he was like for.
That is
God damn it! I can't win with Sabretooth. It's like, do you have to be everywhere? Can you just like not show up for 5 fucking seconds?
If Wolverine's involved, he will be there.
Yes,
fine. If I have to deal with Ultimate Sabretooth, then I want Wild Child to pull up at least once. Bring all the feral mutants here. Bring them all.
It's like the reverse case of Silver Samurai. Every single time you see Silver Samurai, 9.9 out of 10 times, Wolverine pops up. You know,
unless it's X-Men 97, where he would just stand there and look out the window. But I kind of wish they start. If we do get more of his past in this issue, I think just go ahead and tell us what his connection to Akihiko is in the timeline.
Akihiro?
Akihiro. I keep thinking of this girl. This is the girl character that I keep thinking of. That's my bad. Akihiro. Because I need to know.
Still so confused about that. They have not brought it up in Ultimate X-Men. And
why the fuck is he so old? Why is he older than him? Is it because they're just sucking him dry? But he's just aging faster? Or something?
I don't know. What I do know from the previews, because Ultimate X-Men 14 comes out tomorrow, that we do get a small Akihiro cameo, but it's not enough to give us any definitive answers. Yeah. But he does still have his claws, same placement and everything.
Because like even the issue, go back to the you're right there. Even the panel you see right here, when we see a bunch of his past, there's nothing about Japan here. So there's a chance that he's the son of Wolverine and Danny, which would just be crazy as fuck.
That is potential. That is actually very interesting. That I also wanted to bring up something that I think that Akihiro in 616 could be half indigenous, half Japanese. I think that would be interesting, but that's just a me thing. But I don't even know what Akihiro's backstory is, because Peach Momoko keeps this shit silent until the issue comes out.
Also, if you look at this, under clauses, Wolverine apparently still used the X-Men symbol for some reason.
I don't fucking know, man. I'm
tired. What they'll say is that's just a symbol for
based on this, I'm starting to think that I think it's gonna be one of those situations where I don't think this is our version of Wolverine. I think the Wolverine of this world is still the dead skeleton dude, and this is a different world of Wolverine.
Ooh, well, you could say that Jimmy Hudson just dyed his hair.
No, I'm saying it's still Wolverine. I think it's still Logan. I don't think this. I don't think it's a Logan at this timeline. So remember when this whole event started, the Maker was getting niggas from other universes and clones and stuff. Everything was invading each other, all that stuff. I think just a random Wolverine that was left over, and not the one they're thinking of. I think that's a dead skeleton.
I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see for both Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Wolverine. Because how the fuck is Akihiro the first? No. What if, hypothetically, they decided to role reverse it and have Akihiro be the father of Logan?
I don't know. I need to see.
I don't know.
I think he's the old he is. He might well be Romulus at that point. Maybe the old man now.
I don't even fucking know anymore. But anyways, we got 2 more books to talk about. We got to wrap this up.
What do you mean you got 2 more books?
We got 2 more books.
Yeah.
It's 12:40.
All right. Well,
Okay,
we'll
we still
speed through them. So, all right.
Cryptid, I'll let you take over the Mummy, even though I did read it.
Gotcha. All right. All right. Let's move on to the next book, audience. So, right now we're talking about the Mummy #1, audience.
Gotta
This
go
is
to
what.
Egypt.
Yep. we're on our tour around the world. This is based on like the monster comics that they're doing right now in Image, where they're actually telling a little bit of backstory into our most
Well,
iconic
it's
monster
not really
movies.
a backstory. It's kind of like a
No.
different interpretation of the original movies, but
Okay, okay.
it's like
I,
a
I
side
don't think.
story that you can count as
Mhm.
canon if you want, but not really.
There we go. Yeah, yeah. That's one way to look at it. So yeah, we get introduced to this character. We first start off in Thebes back in 1912 with this little girl named Helen. Now, honestly, audience, I'll admit I never actually watched the Mummy movie, the original one. So I don't know if she's a character from that series, from
I
that
think she's
movie.
the same as I think she's in a similar situation as that kid from the Frankenstein book. I think she's like
Oh,
completely original. I don't
oh,
remember.
okay, okay.
I guess we
Oh,
know
okay,
what movie
okay.
we're watching next.
Yep, yep. There you go. So basically, like, she's the daughter of an Egyptian woman and a British man, like, a British man who just happens to be rich and is, you know, doing excavations in Egypt to, unlock some tombs or artifacts and this and that.
And
Like,
put it
it
in the
doesn't
British
even.
Museum.
Pretty much. I mean, he has the workers, he has the citizens around this place doing the heavy lifting. I mean, heck, you have one guy who visibly breaks his leg trying to lift
He
some
doesn't break
stones.
it. Like it literally goes through his skin and muscle and shows bone. That's how bad it is.
Yes. So they're like, God dang it. And all the father all the father responds with is, yeah, just compensate the worker and just continue the excavation. Like, damn, damn. So basically, we flash forward like 10 years later. Helen is all grown up. She's hanging out with friends. She is still kind of ostracized by the group because she's half British. So, and yeah, she's the only one in the group who has green eyes. Keep that in mind, audience. Yeah, that's from her father's side, by the way. So,
Say her name again.
this Helen.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, this is where like, she does typical teenager shenanigans where, she uses the privilege she has from her father to sneak all her friends into a nightclub. You know, they get found out, they try to escape. There's just one guy amongst the group who's a really kind sweetheart. You know where this is going, right? So then when they were trying to escape, they look at the excavation that was going on nearby. They have their first kiss, but this is where like the archaeologist takes out the the like little parchment paper of the incantations to summon the
The
mummy.
scroll of
You know?
Thoth. Yes.
Yeah, there you go, there you go. Let me bring up the picture actually.
No, that's not. Yeah, but he does the whole incantation. Helen passes out. His, her maybe boyfriend goes to run to get help, and then the mummy actually pulls up. Like he's like, "Sup, bitch?"
He put his hand on the man's shoulder, like, "What's up, bro?"
Hey, bro, why'd you wake me up? I was sleeping just fine.
Oh
But
yeah,
anyways,
oh yeah.
Helen
He's
wakes up not too long later.
Mhm.
Kind of. But she wakes up in
Yeah.
this like plane of existence. Can you switch to the next picture?
Yes, it's right there.
And so all she says is, "What have you done?" She passes out again. The mummy fucks off. And so basically, her father pulls up and is like,
Yeah.
why were you out in the desert at night? Don't you know it's dangerous? And she was like, I just wanted to see the dig. And her father's like, for God's sake, Helen, your mother was terrified. So basically, when she gets back to her home, she gets scrutinized by her father and everything like that. And yeah, so basically, he forbids her from seeing her friends ever again, which is bullshit.
Yeah, her mother is on her dad's side, like, basically giving the whole, your father needs to keep up appearances, this and that, but he loves us, he has to keep
My
up
ass.
a modest
Wait, no. If you sneak off to go visit the mummy's tomb, Yeah,
No,
you
but
ain't
it
proud.
wasn't even intentional. She just wanted to hang out with a boy for like a little bit. God forbid.
Yep.
But
Yep.
obviously she's a teenager, so she's obviously going to be pissed off. I mean, I'm always pissed off, and I'm not a teenager anymore. So, you know, she throws her pillow, she throws her hairbrush at the mirror, and it cracks. And we see different we see like in the shards of the window of the mirror, we see her younger self. I'm assuming her younger self. She starts talking and everything like that. She's like, I must be going crazy. And the person in the mirror is like, you're not going crazy. Like, trust. Like, I don't know who I am, but can you help me remember who I am? And Helen's like, I can try my best. So basically, it ends off with the mummy in question looking out over the city of Thebes. And that's where the issue ends.
In a better timeline, this is the Mummy with Brandon Fraser. Tell me the story. He moved in.
There you go, audience. There you go. So yeah,
It doesn't have a bad start, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I don't know if I like it as much as the other books with its start, but I do like it. It does. It will, like, I know, move forward as the next 3 issues pull up, but
I don't like the art style compared to the other one stuff. The other ones felt more.
I still think Dracula is my favorite. I think it's because James Tynion was made to write this kind of stuff, but
it's just that those books put the bar up so high, you know. So
like you should have started with this book and not Dracula. Like Dracula was like too high up on standards. But so, regardless, I like this book a lot. Obviously, I'm going to be reading the rest of it. Yeah.
Same here, audience. So, all right. In the interest of time, let's move on to the last book of the night, audience. So,
I will try to make this quick. So Monster High New Scarmester issue 7. So we start off at the mall, which is spelled M-A-U-L, not M-A-L-L, because, you know, monster puns. And so we see, like, Heath and Abby. We also see Kieran and Spelden, and then also Twyla. If you don't know who these people are you a real Monster High fan? I'm just kidding. So, yeah, we see them at the mall, you know, and then we see some dialogue being like, so, Toralei, how have you been holding up since the year's been axed? It's like, I know you had your eyes set on Fear leading nationals, and Toralei's like, okay, cut the small talk, Claudine. Like, why did you ask us to really meet? And so basically, Claudine explains everything in her life, why they kind of broke up and everything like that. And Toralei's like, yeah, I know. Like, you dropped me for your freaking fashion empire or whatever. Like, thanks for the reminder. And Claudine's like, I can explain, like, if you'll let me, like, my pack's falling apart and all this other stuff. And she's like, I know your parents are having issues. Like your mom shelved her own dreams just so that she can, like, get married to your father and have a family and all this other stuff. And now you're terrified of ending up like your parents, blah, 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 blah. She's like, I know. And so Claudine's like, yeah, I mean, you're right. And I'm sorry. Like, I was a coward and all this other stuff. Like, I miss you and I'm ready to try again if you would forgive me. And Toralei's like, you know, you're all I've been thinking about since school shut down, so I can never stay mad at you. And I'm just like, good to know. But Claudine needs her help on something. So we cut over to the cemetery, you know, and we see Claudine, Cleo, and Draculaura at the cemetery, you know. And I'm not gonna get too much into it. So basically, they gotta try to find out what happened, like what's happening to all the students that are disappearing. And Claudine's like, wait, where's Frankie? And Cleo's like, she's been missing all night, probably wrapped up in something sinister. And Draculaura's like, oh, and her eye coffin's dead. Like, I'm afraid she might have been ghoul napped too. And Claudine's like, I thought only zombies were being targeted. And Draculaura's like, she's not a zombie, but she is technically a reanimated corpse. You know, because she's made up of dead people parts. You know how that works.
Does Frankenstein really not count as a zombie?
I don't know. It should, technically.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, you look it up.
Yes. Yeah.
So basically, Claudine decides they got to go talk to the Headmaster Frankenstein. And so you can see that he is upset with everything that he has done. I don't know exactly what, but he is. By the way, we still have never seen his full face, by the way. It's always shrouded in shadows.
Apparently, officially, no. Frankenstein monster is not a zombie.
I guess
It's not
it's because
considered by any
since
metric of it.
I guess it's because made up of different dead people body parts and not just one corpse being reanimated.
Apparently, it's more because it doesn't like have any of the traits of the zombie, like eating people, all that other stuff.
Okay. I mean, fair enough, I guess. We learn something new every day. Anyways, so yeah, we see like a piece, like some dialogue between we see between Headmaster Frankenstein and Headmaster Bloodgood, and all this other stuff, and he's basically talking about how he wants to enhance zombie biology, blah 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 blah, and Bloodgood's like, okay, so there's been like stuff's been weird, so I don't know if this is a good idea, and we see that that Frankenstein is having some regrets. And so basically the girlies show up and they're like, Headmaster Stein, I think Frankie is in trouble and we know you have something to do with it. And Frankenstein is like, so you figured it out, have you? Like, I knew this night would come. All I did was to protect her and I couldn't protect them all. I failed. Cleo's like, what do you mean by protect them all? And Dracula is like, as Monster High's protector, like, I need to know. And so he's like, I've been blackmailed like 4 months. People have been like stealing my notes and everything like that, fucking over my research and everything, and all this other stuff. And he's like, but it's like I probably won't be able to stand a chance against them. And so basically he takes them down to where all the zombies were being held in the cemetery. Yes.
This just shows me I'm way too hot headed for this. Because the moment he said I knew y'all figured out, I probably would have attacked him. I'm not gonna lie.
No, he's a scientist. He's not a fighter. The fuck? This is a monster.
Okay,
Exactly. That's how I know I'll win.
Okay, Raphael.
Anyways,
It's like he's about to start his villain monologue. You're like, no, bro. So put it out there. We got it.
Anywho's. So basically, as they're going down to where the zombies were hidden and everything, and he's like, as I watched and waited, hoping to predict their next move, like I noticed the missing students all shared one trait, the fact that they're zombies. And so basically Cleo's like, okay, how much longer is this goddamn story? Like, we need to find our ghoul friends. And Claudine's like, I know, like, normies are probably behind this. And Dracula was like, okay, what kind of experiments did you do here, Professor? And so basically he puts his hand on a scanner, opens it up, and so it cuts over to Toralei, where she has a location for Claudine on, as you do, send your location to your friends when you have to go into dangerous situations. It's great. Anyway, so they go inside this facility, and guess who they find? They find Frankie up to this machine and all this other stuff. And they're like, oh my god, like, release her immediately. Like, what did you do to my little ghoul? Blah, 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 blah. And so this masked creature is like, I'm afraid I can't do that. Like, we made great strides with zombie modification research, but did you think that we wouldn't notice the missing pages? Blah, 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 blah. And so Headmaster Stein is like, no, please, Frankie has nothing to do with this. It's a specific voltage you'll need. Like, I'll tell you if you let her go. This is like the most we actually see of his face, by the way. And everything like that. But don't worry. So the girlies decide to think fast. And so Dracula decides, she's like, I'm gonna turn into a bat. I'm gonna get to him first, and then everyone else do their thing. And guess what? What? So we find out the person behind doing all this is some fucking like troll twerp called Lothar. If you remember from a few issues ago in the student council meeting, he was there. He was at the student council meeting. So you're telling me this little fuck ass kid like blackmailed a freaking headmaster with years, like a freaking professor and doctor and scientist for what? Nothing?
Did they steal this from Vampire? What that dumbass vampire anime on Netflix? Where that dude goes to a vampire a monster school?
I don't fucking remember. You know how many monster stuff is there out there? I don't fucking know.
I'm gonna find it, bro, because this plot sounds
All I'm
very
thinking
familiar.
is Vampire Night. When you said vampire in school, all I thought was
No.
Vampire Night.
It's like vampire. I'm fine.
Anyways, don't worry. Frankie's fine. And so Lothar is like, you're already too late. The process has begun. So he opens up a door, like some metal doors, and we see that all the zombies who were taken are being mind controlled and all this other stuff. And so basically now they have to like try to get all these zombies out of mind control. You know, and they're actually running fast. They're like almost Train to Busan fast, if you've seen that movie. Lothar's just a bitch. Like, dang. You're telling me Johnny was like had to leave the school, but he didn't have to leave the school for being a twerp? Anyways. So yeah, they have to fight the friends.
Vampire. Rosario plus vampire.
Oh, Rosario Vampire? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Rosario, that's what it was.
I don't fucking remember. It's been too long. Anyways, so yeah, they have to fight zombies. But before Gulia can actually like hurt Frankie because she's charging up, her dad takes the blow. So unfortunately,
that's the only W you're getting in this book, sir.
He did get injured, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it because before anything super duper bad could happen, Cleo finally does something and does like a mummy screech or whatever, like a really loud screech, and basically breaks all of the mind control headpieces. And Lothar's like, no, what have you done? And so basically, Cleo goes before she checks up on anyone else. She checks up on Gulia, her beastie, you know. And Claudine's like, you ain't going nowhere, Lothar. Fuck off. So guess who else they find? They find Headmaster's Bloodgood. Yay! And so she's like, you truly believe that I abandoned my post to go on a fucking vacation? And then she looks up and she's like, what the hell happened here? Like, Lothar, what the fuck are you doing? Like, where's Hezekiah? Like, what have you done to Frankenstein? You know, and all this other stuff. And Lothar being a little twerp, he's like, oh, what's happened here is the start of a Boo World Order headmistress. That's what he says, because Monster Punch.
Kid Omega looking ass man.
He looks like a fucking twerp. I'm sorry I couldn't have scans for you guys. I really like
it's
really
fine.
hard. They only have the first issue for scans online, by the way, unless you buy it.
Britta is very thankful that you don't have scans.
I know. You're welcome. The one book where I don't have scans. Anyway, so he's like, oh, one where monsters take their rightful place on top of society's pyramid. And like, I don't know, he's like doing like a supervillain speech over here. And she's like, you received an overwhelming amount of signatures on the petition for the clause reinstatement. Like, you forged the signatures? Like, what the fuck, man? But don't worry, Cleo decides to wrap up Lothar in her bandages and all this other stuff. They take Frankenstein to the infirmary, and Cleo and Gulia hug it out. They're all good to go. But guess who also shows up after the fight ends? So it's Deuce, Abby, Toralite, Laguna, Scara, and Iris. They all pull up. So many ghouls and and one manster, because you only need the one. But don't worry, Deuce and Cleo, they make up and all this other stuff. And don't worry, Abby pulls up and she's like, I'll take the headmaster. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And guess what? Then Deuce is like, shouldn't we be worried about this whole Boo World Order thing? Like, what's the deal with that? And Cleo's like, as my mummy always said, one problem at a time, my love. One problem at a time. So Dracula notices like this notebook and she puts it in her backpack, and they all leave. And then Dracula gets a message on her phone from the Crypt Crier. It says, hey ghouls, I'm back. And that's where this arc ends. And the first trade of this book comes out in May. So that's where this ends so far. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But we do have another Monster High book that comes out tomorrow. So I'll probably pick it up this weekend. So stay tuned.
Cool.
Let me tell you why I can't stand this universe, bro. Imagine if you went to a place and they were like, it was filled with black people, and they're like, Man, it's such a blackalicious day today. Are you ready to go to the black ball? Like that's how Monster High be, bro. They'd be like, why do you have to say monster?
I mean,
and
keep
everything,
in
bro? We
mind,
know
this
you're a
came out
monster. You know
like
what
originally. This franchise came out in the early 2010s, you know. So I'm just
I mean?
like,
I'm just saying. It's
There was
like I
peak
don't.
Cheetah Girl era, Jake.
I'm just saying, like you don't have to say your race and everything, bro. Like I'm
no,
just
it's
saying.
monster puns. You know, they changed the names of things so that it works. But anyways, I feel like we should end it here because it is already.
Jake, I was saying on camera. You missed it. You missed it. 6'4" Wolverine was crawling on all fours for a good amount of panels.
It was true.
Oh my god. Okay.
Gotcha.
Anyways,
Anyway,
yeah, that's all of our
thank-
books tonight. It's already 1 a.m. for these nerds, and it's 10 p.m. for me. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Lucky.
Hopefully they're
have-
listening to.
That was a
this
crazy. Which that was a crazy good callback. That was a crazy good callback. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for
Next
that.
week we'll
I've been
return with Sonic Says.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Yeah, my child doesn't exist. Will never exist. Anyways,
Yeah,
good night,
yo.
audience. We will
Hey,
see
guys.
you later.
So
have
so
a
in Sonic
scarily
X,
good
there was
night.
a storyline